What up? What up? What up? This is Rec League Podcast, man. Episode number 53. I am Randy Little. I host this little thing. And I've probably said before, I probably said last episode. I use the term host lightly. And I was a half-ass host on this episode. So we talk about the trailers that have come out, Super Bowl trailers and 2 or 3 other trailers that come out in the past couple weeks. And then I don't know if we touched on the Supergirl casting. I don't really remember because the actress is unknown, but it's real dope that Supergirl is gonna be in the Flash movie. But if this episode, this is a long episode. If you listening, if you watching, this is a long episode, and I want y'all if y'all are put off by that, at the Nick Goodman on Instagram, on Letterboxd, on Twitter. Complain to him because I gave him the reins this episode and it ran a little lengthy. It's a fun conversation. I'll let you guys watch to hear what it is that we talk about, but it ran a little long. And as far as released movies, upcoming movies, over the last 2 episodes, I want to say like Judas and the Black Messiah came out in theaters on HBO Max. I think Nomadland is from the director of Nomadland, if I'm not mistaken, has directed the Eternals movie for the MCU, starring Frances McDormand. The director's name, I believe, is Chloe Zhao. I might be mispronouncing that. I might be confused as to who the director of that is, but I think that's her name. Recently on Blu-ray, DVD, I don't remember. Upcoming in theaters to stream. The Tom and Jerry animated movie comes out this weekend in theaters on HBO Max, and the weekend after that, like the weekend before we get back together to record again, let me see. That Thursday, SpongeBob comes out. I guess in North America, in the United States, because I think SpongeBob might have came out in Canada like last fall. But then that Friday, I want to say, is it called Boss Move with Frank Grillo and Naomi Watts and Mel Gibson, directed by Joe Carnahan. Coming to America comes out on Amazon. Raya and the Last Dragon comes out on Disney Plus and in theaters. And then Chaos Walking hasn't been delayed yet, so I'm assuming that's coming out too, starring Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley, directed by Doug Liman. And as far as Blu-rays, I think The Croods: A New Age comes out this Tuesday. And that's it. That's it as far as new releases and everything, man. Find us on, before I move on, find us on social. Find us at Rec League Podcast on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, at Rec League Pod on Twitter. A million thank yous to everybody that's been keeping up with us over the last couple episodes. On YouTube, the viewership has boomed. On Anchor, I'm doing consistent numbers, but on YouTube, man, on YouTube, the last episode was the highest watched episode I've put out. So I want to shout out the other countries that have experienced the Rec League Podcast on Anchor, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, man. Shout out to the UK, shout out to Sweden, shout out to Ireland, shout out to Russia, Canada, France, India. And then on YouTube, again, shout out to India, the Philippines, Indonesia, Pakistan, the UK, Mexico. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, man, like I said, when I come back, we gonna get into this lengthy conversation, and I'm gonna close out with the bars I always close out with, man. Rec League, baby. Well, everything's thawed out. As you can see, me and Eric are here. Texas is not snowed in anymore. Nick in Virginia graced us with his presence. No snow though.
A little bit.
Who asked you?
I know.
There wasn't a lot of news. So I guess like I never like landed on anything specific, and that's like the special effect of this episode that I'll get into as we progress. But I guess Super Bowl trailers. Like we were literally just saying 2 minutes ago, the Super Bowl feels like forever ago, but it was 2 weeks. There was pregame. There was a Fast 9 teaser. There was the new M. Night Shyamalan, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I can't remember any others. Was there another one, Nick? What I missed?
Those are the ones that mattered, I think. I can't think of another one. Old was really, like, that might have been the only new one.
Yeah.
Like, for something that we hadn't seen. And it was only like 30 seconds long. I was kind of pissed.
It was enough to get me interested.
I guess. I'm not sure I understand the premise.
Yeah.
It's like a premise. It's like they go to this island and start getting old.
Yeah, basically.
Or start aging. But then they're showing all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh, well, what does that have to do with that? We'll never know. There'll be some kind of weird twist.
Sounds like a M. Night Shyamalan movie.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, Eric, when I was hanging from the bottom of that truck, why did you have the nerve to tell me that little girl kicked my ass? I'll be Bucky.
The winter. Well, it has a lot to live up to. That
Yeah,
because of what WandaVision is doing.
We could do a whole 2-hour spoiler.
Yeah.
After the finale, I think we might just have like a WandaVision spoiler discussion.
Yeah.
Depending on how that lines up with when the Snyder Cut comes out.
There we go. Yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier, they better have some kick-ass action scenes.
Yeah.
Halfway decent story. Because nobody... I don't know. I don't think people expected WandaVision to be... I guess they expected it to be anywhere near as almost great as it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It blows my mind that there seem to be so many people that really thought... Not to go off on a WandaVision tangent, I won't. But it blows my mind that there seems to be so many people that thought it was going to just be I Love Lucy, the whole show.
Yeah.
Like, they thought that's what the show was. Like, it blows... I'm just like, dude, y'all didn't need to pay attention
to anything.
To the ad.
Yeah.
So, makes me wonder if Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to be...
Yeah, I would imagine that's going to be straightforward action thriller.
Oh, no. One episode is Mission Impossible. One episode is The Man from U.N.C.L.E. One episode is Bourne. One episode is 24.
Yeah, we gotta do this 24 hours.
Right?
Oh, wait, no, like 24 hours was a season, wasn't it?
Yeah. I've never seen 24, but yeah, like, I know the gist.
Yeah. God.
When did
24?
What's his name? Jack Bauer? When did Jack Bauer ever sleep?
You never seen 24? Look at it. I don't know if you can see it. Like right here on my shoulder. There's all the 24 seasons.
I see Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
You looking at the rope shelf, but no, anyway. Yeah, but now the trailers, Fast 9. Y'all think about that?
I'm so ready for Fast 9. Like, I'm sick of pretending that I'm not excited for Fast 9. Especially now after the whole Gina Carano thing. I'm like, remember when they shot her out of a plane? That was great.
Yeah, like I didn't really care about the teaser. Like, I don't think it showed anything new. Like, they showed the reveals before they pushed it back a full year.
Yeah.
Like, we know John Cena's character. We know that Han is coming back. Yeah, like I'm ready for another ridiculous action movie with no street racing. But
they're driving through and then like a magnet pulls the car or some shit. Hey, I don't even know what that is.
Fate of the Furious had 30 seconds of race wars. They're still doing it.
Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. Fate of the Furious, like the whole beginning is him in like Cuba or whatever. There's always some like rapper girl that comes out to swing the flag, and then they race, and then they're like, "Oh, shit, I gotta go stop this global terrorist organization real quick."
That's crazy. There's not that many trailers, Super Bowl trailers.
I mean, man, like, what could they have really done? Like, I'm shocked they didn't do Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, because then because it had already came out before.
Yeah,
probably been out like.
I'm shocked that a couple of I guess the Warner Brothers trailers didn't push their trailers for the Super Bowl. That came after. Like, I guess we're gonna talk about Mortal Kombat and
they're the ones that have all their release dates locked in. But yeah, we can move on to the other trailers that came out. I think I don't know if I'm saying this right. The Snyder Cut.
Mortal.
Well, it's Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Okay, so I was not saying it right. That trailer came out. That's one of my most anticipated movies all year. I think we covered that in January. But I think, like good thing we don't have that big a following on this podcast, because I liked the trailer, but I wasn't, like, overwhelmingly floored, like, give me this right now.
Yeah, same. I haven't been like that with the Snyder Cut as a whole. Like, I'm stoked, and I'm going to watch it. I might even like it. I don't know. But I'm not, like, sure in my head. Like, there's people that like, the trailer is already better. Like, 18 ways the Snyder Cut is already better than
those.
Oh, no, I'm in that boat. I wasn't, like, ecstatic about this trailer, but it was still better than Justice League.
Probably. But I'm like, you still haven't seen it. So I'm like, we're too premature on the 18 ways it's already better. And I'm like, well...
Yeah, no. Maybe. Not going that far with the list and stuff, but we saw the Justice League, we refer to it as. We saw that as a whole.
I'm glad that's catching on.
Mm-hmm.
And even honestly, the Josh Whedon's version of Justice League, you got to give it a little bit of credit for it because it's not, to be honest, it's not a terrible movie.
No.
We've said it's not, it's really not that bad.
And it's amazing it came together the way it did with how it's put together.
It's
amazing that it's not terrible.
As a whole, it put Snyder's vision through a paper shredder, and that's what Warner Brothers wanted.
Yeah.
But no, the trailer I think it looks great. It looks, it's weird. It does look like it looks the same, but it's obviously an entirely different movie.
The same, but different, but still the same.
Still the same. Yeah, that's crazy, and yeah, it's nuts that it's gonna get to see the light of day, because there was almost no hope that it ever was, and some people thought it didn't exist.
Oh no, it existed.
Yeah, I say that and like as a joke. It technically didn't exist. If we're like being technical. Like,
but even that's not totally true though, because the movie,
like, there was like a rough cut out there somewhere that was.
Yeah, but that's not true. They actually were starting to post production. There was some effects finished because there were.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of it.
Yeah, so it wasn't just totally in work print form. I think that's what.
Me, like, it still just blows my mind that they can. Like a movie could be, because really, like when he left, it was in like post production. They weren't like out filming. Like, it's crazy to me that they can just go cut up a movie so much,
right?
That based on that trailer, like it doesn't even look like the plot is going to be the same thing at all.
It's even one plot thing that's not going to be in there. One minor plot detail. The whole smell fear. And that bell ring and stuff, that was
no shit. I was just thinking, I hope Batman interrogating Hope McCallany on that rooftop is in this movie.
That was obviously a reshoot.
I like that part.
That thing looked like a TV show.
I was like, that guy follows me on Instagram. And
name drop.
So I see all his stuff, and I was like, I didn't even know he was in this movie. Like, I had no idea he was in this movie at all. He didn't advertise himself in Justice League, and then like that scene like doesn't make any sense. It like starts, you don't even know what they're talking about, but it's like I remember later thinking about that. I was like, I feel like that made sense once upon a time, and they just like Harley getting pushed out of the helicopter and throwing her. Makes no sense in the movie, but it's like I feel like that made sense before somebody came in and did this.
But no. Anyway,
but the trailer.
But it's nuts that, like you said, it's just amazing. They were basically gonna just throw away an entire movie. Until the higher ups told them, like, we were sitting on money.
No, but like that's the thing though. Like so many people, like in the Warner Brothers offices, don't give a fuck. Like so many people are never gonna watch the theatrical movie again. Like me, if I'm doing a DC binge, I'm watching the Snyder Cut, even though like they don't consider it as part of the universe. It's gonna be this one-off, blah blah blah. But it's like Zack Snyder is putting together his Superman trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I mean, and it is part of the universe. And to me, I'm like, otherwise, why would you have gotten Jared Leto to come back? Like, you could have just like not put the Joker in there, or got someone else, or done Walking Phoenix or something. And it's like you went out of your way to get Jared Leto to come back and be that Joker.
Oh, I'm gonna embarrass myself right quick. I have no idea what this meme is that anybody's talking about that he referenced at the end.
Well, you're talking about what he said. It's society.
He lives up in a society.
Isn't that right, Batman?
There's a whole subgenre of movies that I call "We Live in a Society."
I just think of Seinfeld.
And like Joker is currently like the king of that genre.
Yeah.
But like you have movies like Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Oh yeah, that's a great movie.
Fight Club fits in that genre.
Oh yeah, that's a great movie.
Most of them are good, like very good movies, but it's all just like movies that the edgelords with the fedoras. They love those. Think for Vendetta kind of fits. The guys, you wouldn't understand. We live in a society where you wouldn't understand my society. So part of me thinks that's like a joke, like an in-joke, like a wink, like, oh look, Joker said the thing. But also, there's another part of me that thinks, like, 5 years ago, Zack Snyder probably thought that was, like, the coolest thing somebody could say. He was like, dude, what if we talked about society and how...
Because he even said it, I mean, the character, the Joker, even said it in Joker, right? When he was on... So it's funny.
Yeah, like, because I remember being an apparent thing by the time Joker had come out. And he, like, says it on the talk show. He's like... live in this society where people treat you like garbage, and then he like shoots him, and I'm like, wow,
oh man,
I've never lived in that society,
right?
I could never hit society.
But I guess there's one more major trailer.
No, two.
Two? Oh.
No, two. Yeah. So I mean, I'm assuming we all none of us were blown away by the Snyder Cut trailer, but we're all gonna watch the movie. Next, Cruella came out.
Finally.
Eric, did you see this trailer?
Yes. I saw the Harley Quinn as Cruella trailer.
Are you a dog lover?
Yeah,
no, I mean, she got this is Cruella DeVille's Maleficent.
Yeah, Cruella, Zoe. I don't know if y'all get that.
No.
Mazozi.
Oh man, but anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's So the trailer didn't look bad per se. It's just that I guess it's gonna be the new thing for people to say, oh, these remakes are ruining my childhood. Now these prequels are ruining my childhood. Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
I'm like, come on, your childhood is what it was. It happened.
If you make a prequel or a remake or a sequel or whatever, then it obviously erases the original product, right?
Just go watch it.
Yeah.
But no, I like the trailer. I think it looked good to me. I'm interested to see where they're gonna go with it, and yeah, the comparisons are gonna be obvious, and they're gonna be what they be. But that doesn't mean the movie still can't be good. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was already tired of people like just made it. I can't explain it, but this is gonna be Disney's Joker. I can't explain it. It's like you can't explain it. Like the trailer is very similar. Like there's an easy explanation. It's like the same trailer as Birds of Prey, but it's just her. It also made me. The Cruella trailer made me like think about how many people, like not movie people, just like normal people that are normal,
like Chad Johnson.
Yeah, they have no idea that movies are coming out until there's a trailer for
it.
Yeah.
Because there are so many people that were like, "Who asked for this? We did. Who? Oh my god, I'm living for this and all this stuff." And it was like, this was supposed to come out last year. Like I remember there was a picture for it at like the.
Yeah, where she's like doing like her bad bitch pose with like one leash and like 30 dogs on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, this was supposed to come out a while ago. Like I remember them; they've been talking about this for a long time, and it was just we got pushed back. We finally have a poster. And we're like, what? Oh my god, I'm living for this. I was like, I'm living for it.
Starring Madonna as Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know if it's necessary.
Is she supposed to be Glenn Close?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, how are you gonna like? Glenn Close killed that shit. Like that was like crazy back in the day.
I've never seen 102 Dalmatians, but yeah, like I have like a soft spot for that 1996 live action version.
Boy, 1996. Jeez,
a long time.
No shit, right?
But yeah, I mean, I'll go see it. It also didn't say if it was. It just says 2021. It doesn't say Disney Plus or theaters or anything.
Yeah, it just says May. I think the original plan is to do the Raya and the Last Dragon, but it might be just Disney Plus. I don't know.
Yeah,
like Mulan.
I think it's almost like they're gonna test the waters with the Raya and the Last.
I think they're gonna wait for Raya to come out, see how it does in theaters, see how it does on Disney Plus, and then make a decision on Black Widow, Cruella, all their upcoming stuff.
I already got my Raya ticket, and it's like $6.80 because I had like a discount.
Oh, good for you!
Cinema or just a regular one.
It's just a regular theater. That's all I have. So it's like I'm gonna save $25.
And gas.
That's a good deal.
I just gotta risk getting COVID at the theater.
No big deal. No biggie.
Have movies that's gonna be at the theater.
Yeah, if it's up there.
Oh, the last trailer. Mortal Kombat. Yeah. This trailer was badass. I love the Mortal Kombat trailer.
Yeah, I didn't have any, expectations at all for it, and then
I can't speak for all white people, but I want to see the story, and I kind of don't give a fuck that Johnny Cage isn't in it.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. Since when do people love Johnny Cage?
Right.
Every person I've ever played with, maybe from the movies,
Liu Kang.
But every person I've ever played Mortal Kombat with, nobody picks Johnny Cage.
Oh, come on, Johnny Cage, man.
Nobody picks Johnny Cage. Everybody's always like, yeah, no. It's like, you're gonna play.
Sub-Zero or Scorpion is the go-to on the games.
My go-to is Baraka, and he's not in the movie either. You hit him with the stab and throw.
And look. I'm gonna say dude's name wrong, but I'm tired of the Mikael Brooks, Steve Harvey, Jack slander. Dude was quality Jimmy Olsen in Supergirl.
That's hilarious.
Dude was quality Jimmy Olsen in Supergirl.
Yeah, I think that's good casting.
Yeah.
He looks just like Jax. I guess I don't know.
As awesome as our people are always gonna find nitpicks. As awesome as the trailer was. The actress playing Sonya can't act. Do you mean the the 2.5 seconds of dialogue, you analyze that and come to the conclusion that she can't act.
Also, like, who cares? Like,
it's just Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's like you want to see the fatalities.
Yeah. And the little collage at the end, the fatality. Come on, man.
That shit was fire.
What a to put on the trailer. The exclamation point.
Kano wins.
It's a movie based on a martial arts video game.
Yeah. Yeah, the nerdy dude from... Say what?
Good. It's not as good as the 1995 thing.
Y'all lagged all of that.
I will say that wholeheartedly.
Eric, what you say?
No, you said... No, it was round. Nick was talking about the 1995. Well, there's a lot of nostalgia in it.
It's not as good as the trailer for the 1995, if we're being honest. Except for the finish them, like at the end is pretty great. But like, I don't know. So just watching the Mortal Kombat trailer from 95, it's like, that's better than the movie. Like you watch it, that's like, oh, I love that. Then you watch the movie,
obviously,
like, that's okay.
Obviously, we saw in the trailer, I don't know, I guess, this new Cody character.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that.
I don't know what that's about. I mean, that could have been Johnny Cage. But anyway,
yeah. It's like Liu Kang is like barely in the trailer.
Yeah.
The Cole guy. The Cole guy's gonna die.
He wasn't in the trailer.
Chun-Li.
The Cole guy's gonna die.
How do you not Google that?
Yeah.
As a journalist,
that's basic.
Like as a journalist, how do you drop that ball?
That's crazy.
As a journalist, but no, I guess we could give the people a little line with digital publication. I don't know. We should name the name now. I'll skip them. But anyway, they came out. They refer to themselves, the digital publication, as a feminist and feminist column or whatever. And the headline is "Who Forgot to Invite Chun-Li to Mortal Kombat?" That's the headline. A journalist put. And then it goes on to talk about the trailer, and then one like Chun-Li, absence of Chun-Li aside, I think the trailer was like, really? And they updated it later saying, I found out why Chun-Li, come on, man. That's just lazy journalism.
Yeah. Hey, we fucked up.
Who was this writer?
This was clickbait just to rile up our feminist audience.
Yeah, that's terrible and terribly obvious and then you backfire in your face.
Yeah.
For those listeners that are unaware, Chun-Li is a character in the Street Fighter game series.
A very popular character.
Yeah, not the Mortal Kombat series. This, if you are at all unaware, there's a movie with her in the title.
Yeah, right.
Lest we forget.
Oh my goodness,
They still screwed that up. But even if, like, you genuinely thought, like, dude, where's Chun-Li? If I was going to write an article about it, I would still Google it.
Yeah.
To see if I, like, missed it.
Missed Chun-Li
in that trailer.
They let you know that the person who wrote the article was just...
Like, who played Chun-Li in the original movie?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Why isn't Chun-Li...
They didn't know anything about it. They just coupled them all in together.
But, man...
Like, I heard it. But anywho.
Y'all know, like, we've had... This is... the third theatrical Mortal Kombat movie. We've had 2 Street Fighters that I know of. Y'all know a fighting game I want to get a movie?
What's that?
Killer Instinct.
Oh, yeah.
Don't nobody talk about Killer Instinct. I used to play the shit out of some Killer Instinct on Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. That would be like a very difficult movie to adapt. Some crazy
I would say like that probably won't happen, but like
I know.
Rampage totally became a movie, and like we all just let that happen. So,
oh my goodness,
I say go for it. You Bull could do it.
Never mind.
I'm glad that guy's wherever that he's going away.
He would get it done.
Never mind. I take it back. I don't want that movie.
Was an awesome game.
I never. No, I never saw the Tekken movie, but there was one. But I don't think it like came out in the U.S. Like I think it came out, but like I don't think theatrically it was released.
No, it went straight to video. Unfortunately,
it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then
maybe I should watch.
The only real news over the past couple weeks is really like the Supergirl casting. I don't think any of us are familiar with her though. It's
no, she comes from soap operas.
Yeah, and like I asked in the thread in the group chat, is she just replacing Cyborg?
I mean, yeah, it's got it. I mean, at that point, yeah.
Right.
I would say so. Whatever role or function that character had, I guess they couldn't just rewrite the script, so they're just gonna plug in another character.
Yeah. All right.
I don't get why they don't just like. It's like I get it, but why don't they just put Ray Fisher like in it? I mean, maybe I could get why. I guess I get why like Warner Brothers might be like this fucking guy.
Yeah.
But like that would be it. That's like the only reason because it's like he played that character well. He called out Joss Whedon on his shit. Now the rest of the world is calling out Joss Whedon on his shit.
But it's not just Joss Whedon. He's calling out.
It's the whole thing.
Like the head of Warner Brothers,
who runs the DC.
The head of DC and Warner, right?
So yeah, he ain't gonna have that. He definitely put down a mandate.
Yeah.
So we'll just have Supergirl come in and be Cyborg. She'll have the same lines.
Oh yeah, the red robotic guy and all of that. Supergirl will say "Booyah."
Playing football. What?
Yeah, but now, like you said, yeah, nobody's really familiar.
I didn't recognize it, but go her. That rules.
Yeah. It was dope. Did you see the? Did you guys see the video of Andy Muschietti like telling her she got the role?
Yeah, I saw that.
That was pretty dope.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like. Ray Fisher tweeted something about something, and somebody freaked out. They were like, "You could just let her have this moment, couldn't you?" And I was like, "Huh?" And that's when we started talking about like, is she just replacing Cyborg? And I was like, "Oh, maybe."
I didn't even see that.
Take any moment away from her.
I didn't see anything he tweeted.
Yeah, it was like a tweet about something, and somebody like he didn't say anything about her, Supergirl, or anything like that. Like he said something about the investigation, and somebody was like, "You son of a bitch!" And it was, let's relax. Her day is fine. She's gonna be Supergirl. That's really.
Oh, was it like this would be a good day for dude to step out and admit what he did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Great day. Yeah.
I didn't correlate any connection.
Yeah, there wasn't.
No, there wasn't. Somebody.
Oh, so I still have common sense. Cool.
You son of a bitch. Yeah, so it's like, I think he'll be fine.
All right. Over the past few days, it occurred to me that like Eric sets up the Zoom stuff. I do the recording. I do the editing. I do the uploading. Nick shows up, gets us over 1,000 hits on YouTube, and then checks out. So I put Nick in the buffet line to come up with the main topic of discussion for this episode, and now this is where I just get to half-ass it.
And I blew it like totally because I didn't even realize this until like yesterday.
Oh yeah, I don't think you thought I was serious until last night.
No, I was like, wait, I'm walking around FYE like looking at stuff like what's something I can talk about? Shit. But I did think about something we've always talked about, like movies we love. Because we're not really haters. There's people out there that are just like trolls. They love to pick apart movies. I think that's a reason we all get along. We don't really do that. We tend to see movies for what they are and just like adjust our expectations. But I was like, we never talk about like the worst movies. Like we don't talk about movies that like suck ass. We don't talk about movies that are good. And I'm sick of that. Sick of good movies. So I came up with just some ideas. Like thinking of that, I was like, what if we talk about the worst movies we've ever seen? Came up with the ideas for like subcategories of worst movie. So when I say to you, I feel like everybody has one. It's like I would say everybody has a favorite movie, whether they watch movies or not. Everybody has a movie that they just love. So it's like when I look at you and I say, like, what's the worst movie you remember seeing? Eric, what comes to your mind?
Oh, for me?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Take over. Like to add, you do what I do. Like direct the conversation.
I fucking get so.
All right, now.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Now this is I don't know. I got one movie, and it's I was gonna say it. I'll probably talk to y'all about it. I'm still deciding in a moment if I'm gonna say it. But the worst movie I've ever seen. That's a hard one. I'm gonna have to go with You said you had your subcategories, right?
Yeah, because I figured I was like, it's kind of hard to just come up with like that is the worst movie, but it's like you could probably think of like the worst romantic comedy you've ever had.
Right. Now the worst movie, I'm still thinking about that, but I'm gonna have to call a lifeline and use one of the subcategories for the moment, and I'm gonna get back to the worst of all time. But I'm gonna go with the worst sequel. What's that?
All right. We can skip. Like we can come back if I don't even give a shit.
All right.
Okay. This is my podcast. It's real loose over here. All right. So like, what's the worst? Since anytime we talk about comic book movies, we always end up going off on them. So it's like, we always talk about the good ones. We defend them. What is, in your mind, the worst comic book movie of all time? Like one that is actually bad.
Catwoman.
That's where I was going to. Catwoman, Elektra. It's a coin flip.
Woman.
I've got Elektra, and it's kind of sad that we all picked. I don't like that.
Right what you said. Oh shit.
Because it's like Batman and Robin is trash, but it's like enjoyable, watchable trash.
But I love it. Yeah, like that's what comic book movies. Yeah. There's a lot that people are like, this is the worst. This is the worst.
Right.
But it's like I kind of like I don't hate most of them. I don't even hate.
In defense,
Elektra or Catwoman, like I don't hate them.
No, it's well, I'm not gonna say that.
They're not.
But in defense of Batman and Robin, I think Joe Schumacher was going for something and he didn't make it. And also he had a lot of things working against him. He had the tone thing coming off the Tim Burton movies to the thing he wanted to do. I think he was trying to throw back to the campy '60s TV show, especially with Batman and Robin, and it didn't go over well. I don't think he like made a bad movie per se. He just tried to do something and it didn't connect with the audience. I think that's what Batman and Robin is.
I think with Batman Forever, he accomplished that. Like that's what he was like trying to do, and like
he just went off the rails with.
Yeah, people still hated it, but it was like, huh,
I don't think Batman Forever is a bad movie.
No,
you flipped the tone around and did it. Yeah, I love Batman Forever.
But now Catwoman is just everything.
It's so good. I got a free ticket to go see Catwoman when I got the Batman the Animated Series, like those box sets, the DVD sets. I got the first one, and it came with a free ticket to go see Catwoman.
How about this? I'm gonna tell if those who are watching and listening, Catwoman. However you can watch it, I want you to watch one scene in particular, the audience, the basketball scene. If you want to know how not to edit anything, watch that scene.
Oh my god!
It's like a 12-year-old with ADHD is editing a movie. It's just so much wrong with it, and I'm close to saying, like you said, I don't think there's any movie out there that I just downright hate. But man, try and rewatch Catwoman.
I'm going to whenever the Batman comes out.
Yeah, you got it.
Whole Batman thing. I'm gonna watch.
Awesome, and it's wonderful. It is to look at. The Catwoman outfit makes no sense.
There's nothing practical about that outfit.
Right. There's no practicality. It's just something to make Halle Berry look sexy, which is
mission accomplished.
Right. It works in that respect.
But like the low-rise pants that are also kind of like bell bottoms with like the boots,
And it's just so much stuff I could grab. Now the director, there was some person named, he went by like Pitoff.
Yeah.
Pitoff.
There's a scene in the movie. He has a decent visual eye, but there's a scene where there's a reflection of a big skyscraper building. Is and it pushes into a little house that's across the street from it, and then it turns into what we're looking at. I don't know if you remember that scene.
Yeah.
But you asked the question, what is a little bitty ass house doing across the street from a skyscraper?
Yeah. It's Gotham City. Is it even Gotham City?
I don't think so.
No, that was another name. I forget.
I don't even think there's a Batman reference.
It's been a hot.
Yeah, because she wasn't even Selena Kyle. She was something.
For a movie that started as a Batman Returns spinoff, I don't think there's any reference to any DC property in it.
No, it just totally. And the villain and really killer makeup. It's just. I mean, whatever the hell it was. Oh, man. But yeah, anywho, I'm not like Catwoman is.
At least Elektra references Stick and the Hand and the Daredevil.
Elektra, I don't know. Like, I don't remember thinking Catwoman was like boring. Like, I've probably watched it like a couple times in my life. I don't remember thinking like, God, this is such a drag. Like, I probably giggled at it like, oh shit.
That's a good point with Elektra.
I've only ever watched Elektra maybe like 2 times.
It's a chore to get through.
And like it was like, oh, this is stupid.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I did that like a subpar binge of subpar comic book movies last year. I think I did Catwoman. I think I did Catwoman, Elektra back to back, and that was rough.
That's hard. But there's a lot of, again, Jennifer Garner is like good, and again, very nice to look at when she played Elektra. You have to give credit for that. I'm sorry. You have to give credit for that.
Yes.
Everybody talks about how Henry Cavill looks as Superman. It's like he looks great, looks amazing. So give him credit for that. And like, I remember being excited that Elektra existed just because I loved Daredevil, which is a movie that everyone hates. I thought Daredevil was great when it came out. It was like, oh, dude, I like Daredevil the character anyway. Yeah. So I was just like ecstatic that he got a movie. I didn't really even care. So the fact that it was like kind of good, I was like, oh my God, thank you, Lord. So there was like Elektra. It was like, holy shit, they're gonna keep going. And then it was just that. Like I was like, oh, guy had tattoos. And the only other one I could think of, for the sake of not being women haters, like ones that are considered bad that I actually think are like, yeah, those are bad, are like those Christopher Reeve.
I was just about to say Superman 3.
4, exactly.
Yeah.
Superman 4 in particular.
Yeah.
And 3.
See, Superman 3.
3 and 4 are trash.
It's number 3. I remember I did it like a long time ago. Man, I think it was actually in school. I did a article, great scenes in bad movies. Then the scene when Superman and Clark Kent are battling it out in the junkyard. Mm-hmm. Y'all remember that scene?
Vaguely.
Very well.
Now, Randy, go YouTube that scene. It's like a total, because Richard Lester, who's the director of Part 3, is big on slapstick.
You don't say.
And that's the reason why Superman 2, when he took over for Donner, there's like a couple of scenes during the destruction of Metropolis that just stand out. Like with the ice cream to the face, the guy on the skates, the guy on the phone, when this destruction is happening. So
there's a lot of stuff in Superman 2 that's really goofy that we don't talk about.
That's Lester. Anyway, Superman 3, the scene where Clark Kent fights his conscience, the evil Superman. It's really, you go back, it's really a dark scene. It's like nothing funny. It's like, and it's well made for the time. Christopher Reeve was playing 2 characters.
Yeah. It was something. Like, it was, different than what you thought was going to happen.
Right. But other than that.
Like Superman 3. But it's just like.
Yeah. But it's one thing, and we love him to death. I'm sure all of us love him. But that movie shouldn't have been Richard Pryor featuring Superman.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was. Somebody broke it down. Richard Pryor has more screen time than Clark Kent and Superman combined.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. But, yeah. But Superman 4 is Superman 4 is literally an incomplete movie.
Yep.
And if you know the story behind that. It's
no nuclear man slander on this show.
That's what I'm saying. Like, movies that actually suck. Yeah. Like, people will say that the 2003 Hulk sucks, and I don't think so. I think that movie's underrated.
Yeah,
people will say Daredevil sucks.
Ang Lee was on some ambitious shit,
and we just weren't ready for that.
Yeah,
and the Hulk probably just wasn't the best superhero to do that.
Yeah, Ang Lee trying to make a philosophical superhero movie.
Yeah, I'm just like,
and that's not what people want to see.
We just weren't ready after Spider-Man like that. We weren't ready.
Yeah,
but I think it's good.
We didn't need to think.
And then those first two X-Men
at that time.
It's a good movie, and there's good stuff. And even like the Green Lantern, like I don't think it's not good. Like it's bad, but it's not like the worst.
Nah.
To me, it's blah. Like that worst.
There you go. That's the perfect.
Blah. They didn't go on. They didn't run the gauntlet with a Green Lantern. And like Jonah Hex, like that's bad, but it's not like notably bad, and that's almost worse. Like it's there's nothing about it that's unbelievably horrible. It's just like the movie's only like 80 minutes long.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's something that's something I can never get past. Like when I watch it, it's like, your character has like a start, a middle, and an end, and it's usually something like in the middle that gets them like they go down, and then they do something that remotivates them to go to the finale, and that happens 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah. Yo,
he wakes up, and then he like has a dream, and he's like, I gotta go finish this, and then it's like there's like 20 minutes in the movie left.
Wow, that's true. Holy crap!
I've never seen it,
but
I'm gonna throw this in here as a contender. If you guys have seen it, Howard the Duck.
Now that's gonna be in another category for me.
I've never seen Howard the Duck.
So now we might have to circle back to that one because if Nick throws out
it's
the other
a comic book movie.
About.
Like looking at my comic book movies list on Letterboxd. What you got, Nick?
Yeah, that's one that I was thinking of. I was like, that's one that people always shit on. But as a kid, I didn't really hate Howard the Duck. As an adult, I kind of do.
But I mean,
again, like, when I think of like what's the worst, that doesn't come to my mind.
My bottom five.
Like, you had something that comes to your mind.
My bottom five on my Letterboxd list, my comic book movies list on Letterboxd, are the two Superman sequels, Elektra Catwoman and AVP Requiem.
Mm-hmm. That's technically comic book movie.
Technically, yeah.
Because it's based on they did that in the comics.
It does suck. That's a bad movie.
At least when you can actually see what's going on the screen.
Exactly.
Yeah, like they're down in the sewer or whatever.
My dead last is Superman 3 though.
Oh man, so you like 4 better than 3?
Probably by like, I don't know. There was some stupid. The fight on the moon might have given it like that bump. I don't know. Or fucking John Cryer.
Hey, John Cryer, leave him alone. He's still in his ducky mode.
Yeah.
But like 2015 Fantastic Four, like not good. It's not even in my head. Like when I think about what's the word. Wolverine, I guess, would be in the conversation, but to me, it's not the worst.
Oh, you're talking about X-Men Origins.
X-Men Origins,
because the Wolverine is actually decent.
The Wolverine is kind of good.
The Wolverine is super underrated.
Yeah, it is, and that's when Mangold came on and redeemed it.
I'm kind of surprised Eric hasn't brought one up.
What's this? I probably blocked that out in my life.
Nah, it's kind of recent.
Really? Comic book movie?
Yep.
Yeah, what could this be?
You know.
Honestly, I'm blanking.
You know.
Oh yeah, goddamn! I did block it out. Damn, Dark Phoenix.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Again, no, that's. I say, I kind of like Dark Phoenix.
Man,
I need to rewatch it.
It takes a lot for me to like just dislike a comic book movie. Like if my expectations are there, like
that's probably.
If I can adjust my expectations enough,
you honestly, go like, from X-Men or Days of Future Past, and in less than 2 movies to Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like everything that was awesome about the previous movie, 2 movies. Let's get rid of that. It's just the I think it's a subject matter. Obviously, you cannot adapt the Dark Phoenix saga in one movie.
I guess the fuck not. Like,
I wrote it somewhere.
I bet you Kevin Feige already has like a multiple movie arc to do it right in his head.
You have to, dude. I mean, we all saw the X-Men cartoon. They needed 8 episodes.
Yeah.
8 episodes. The comic book was like 12 or something like that. You need a lot to tell. It's a very well fleshed out story.
The Last Stand tried to do it with
they tried to make it a subplot.
Yeah, they tried to do it, and also, it was like,
yeah, and also Dark.
I don't hate The Last Stand either. Everybody, it's always on the list. I think it's good.
Dark Phoenix is just, oh my god, it's just so. You might want to call this X-Women. Really? Come on.
Yeah. I'm in the theater like, damn right.
All for women empowerment, but do it to where it makes sense. Just don't say it to throw it in there. Say it to.
The women are always doing this. You might call it X-Women. It's like, oh, I hope she doesn't die in 5 minutes. It would be a shame.
And that should have been more powerful than it was. It was like you saw it. Well, the trailer gave it away, but
yeah, that was the worst misstep of that.
Yeah,
me.
It was just like they were just self-sabotaging from the jump.
Like, to me, that was such a dumb move to put that in the trailer.
Yeah, but
and then also like Quicksilver, they like broke his legs, so he was like not in the rest of the movie.
Yeah, so we could never outdo the previous.
Ran out of money.
He's been redeemed.
But no, it's Dark Phoenix isn't my worst though. It's.
I think Dark Phoenix is better than the New Mutants. I didn't hate that either. New Mutants was fine. Again, at worst, New Mutants was kind of bland.
Like,
until the end, when like the third act of New Mutants is decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the bear and all the shit, like that was kind of good. Like I was like, this is fine.
Other than that, it's just what the hell.
I thought it was like as good as Venom. That's a good comparison to me. I thought New Mutants was like exactly as good as Venom. Anyway, we could do this all day.
So what's the other subcategory? Because I'm really.
Right. We could do that all day, and it might even leak into this. What's the worst sequel ever? We probably already mentioned some.
Okay.
Like when you think like what's a, or even like what's a great movie that has a bad sequel?
Like, I got one for you. I already had it.
Does not live up.
So I'm gonna go. I'm going series. And first movie was great. Second movie was really good. Third movie was decent. Fourth movie was actually still decent.
I know where you going.
The fifth movie.
I know where you going.
A Good Day to Die Hard.
Yep.
Yeah. A Good Day to Die Hard, and also it's a combination of things. This is like, if not, probably close to the beginning when Bruce Willis just stopped giving a damn.
Yeah.
And then that combined with a mediocre script and my janky American accent, Dad.
Dad. Where's my sister?
I mean, it's just like this. First of all, whoever this character Bruce Willis is playing is not John McClane.
No, he's the guy in the
John
commercial.
John McClane is a likable. Yeah, that's who that guy is. Like, oh man,
he was looking for a battery and ended up in Russia.
Die Hards. Even the fourth one, John McClane is.
I like Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah. Is that what you say, Nick?
I like Live Free.
Yeah, Live Free was
even though it's 15, it works.
Yeah, and even if you watch the unrated version, the R-rated version on is even better. But yeah, Bruce Willis just isn't like autopilot. I mean, John McClane is an iconic character, and he does him the character that made him famous no justice. He's an asshole.
Yeah,
you just
and all this stuff, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah,
like,
the
I
movie.
Hate it, but it's like it feels like it's not a Die Hard sequel.
No,
like it's a Bruce Willis just action.
Take that Die Hard name off. It's probably not as bad a movie, but putting that
A Good Day too
on there, it's a standard.
You're holding it to the standard. Yeah,
right.
A Good Day to go to Russia with my son.
Free is that bad.
But now even the movie itself, like the script and the movie doesn't really have a main villain. They trying. It's just like
it's him against the world. The world is the bad guy.
Right, the world. That would have been more. Yeah, but no, that's the one that pops.
The world.
And like, I'm sure another one of y'all are gonna use another.
Live Free is like. I remember being really concerned that it was PG-13. Like I was like, oh man. But more concerning than that, watching the movie was just like it got so ridiculous, like over the top. Yeah. Like nothing. I mean, there is over the top stuff in the first Die Hard.
Yeah.
I mean, but
not jumping off a jet and into it.
It's that's the thing about the first Die Hard is he is one man with no shoes, and he's got to save this building, and that's he's freaking out the whole time. And 2 is kind of the exact same thing. Yeah. This is one man trying to figure out this shit with these planes. And then we get to Live Free, and he's like,
surfing on a dump truck.
This ramp to take out this helicopter. Yeah. It's like, wait, how did you even learn how to do that? You're a cop. Like, you're not like...
Yeah. But they make it, like, who directed? Lynn Wiseman.
Yeah.
He makes it really work well with the ridiculous stuff that's in it. It makes it somewhat like plausible.
It's kind of like a Mission Impossible 2 vibe. Where like first one, it's like, oh, you're just this tactical agent, but now you're on a motorcycle and flipping it.
And you know what does it, Nick? It's like with the John McClane character and Live Free Die Hard. It's the scene where he hops on the jet, right?
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis gives like a WTF look, like what the hell is going on? I think that is what makes it not too ridiculous. It's like I'm on the damn.
Been the whole movie. That should be like, what's going on?
And I think that's what makes it. But A Good Day, it's just him sleepwalking through it.
Yep.
And punching out random strangers because you can't understand what they're saying. That's not John McClane. That's Bruce Willis.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he was looking for his car battery and ended up in Russia.
Yeah.
We're in Russia, and this guy starts speaking Russian to me, and I just knock him out.
Yeah. I think that is really terrible. No. As far as that, terrible sequels to a great. Yeah, I could have won a whole nother franchise, but one of y'all probably are.
Hold on, we're talking about bad sequels to good movies?
Bad sequels to great movies.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, or like either or. Like, like what's just a shitty sequel? Or, like, just a great movie that should have had a great sequel, but instead we got that.
Okay, I think I got mine.
I was going to say.
I think I got mine, but I'm gonna save it for the comeback. All right, Nick, you want to do yours? You want me to go? What's up?
I don't care.
It's show, Playboy.
This is my podcast. We're loose over here. Super loose butthole. Since you said you have like two. Like you have one that's like a shitty sequel to a great movie, and one that's just like the worst sequel.
Yeah, so, like the movie that when you brought it up last night, what's like the worst movie you've ever seen? Your least favorite movie? The movie that popped in my head instantly is a sequel in a series, and then our current topic is a trash sequel to a great movie, which I guess I'll throw out there is Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah, you got it.
Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber is one of my all-time favorite comedies. I was like when they showed like what was it, like Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey just like hugging in the trailer area. I was excited from that point. And it's just like, I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast, but I know we've talked about it. Just like after Fever Pitch, like the Farrelly brothers writing and content just doesn't hit the same. And Dumb and Dumber 2 is just, the epitome of what they must have thought was funny that just didn't translate.
Like immediately after Fever.
Yeah. It's like the Fever Pitch premiere. They wake up the next morning, trash.
Yeah, because I think Fever Pitch is a great movie.
I just watched
Fever Pitch is it's like an above average romantic comedy, and it's funny.
Yeah.
And I remember being really excited for the Heartbreak Kid remake that they did with Ben Stiller. And like, it's funny, like it's got its moments, but I remember like seeing it and thinking like, it felt uneven. Like I was like, this seems like this isn't working on the same level that their movies usually do. But I didn't like hate it. But it was like every movie, like Hall Pass was the exact same way. Like it's funny. It's got its moments. But like there's just something about it. It's like square peg in a round hole. It's like wait, this doesn't work. Like there's something about this that's like off. And Dumb and Dumber 2 had that same vibe for me. Like it was like it's got its moments, and like seeing them together is cool. But it's just like the vibe is so different than the first movie. It's like, what happened? What was lost in the translation?
And that seems to be this is what frightens me. Sometimes belated sequels can work, but they don't seem to work ever with comedies.
No.
Really?
No, it's like I think Anchorman is probably the one that I hate the least. I don't hate Anchorman 2 at all.
Yeah, Anchorman 2 is kind of good.
But Dumb and Dumber. It's like
Dumb and Dumber, Zoolander.
The opportunity, because it's a lot of crazy stuff behind the making of that movie. Like one of the production companies that financed them, like was doing some shady stuff. But anyway, you can read about that.
Yeah.
But it's like they came up with an opportunity to actually make the movie, and the script was like afterthought. That's how it comes off to me, because it just, you said Dumb and Dumber. The first one is one of your, I think it's one of the best comedies of all time.
It's one of those movies that you would think would just be so stupid as years go by. It just gets better, like the older. Like, that's the best.
Yeah. It's just like taking a simple premise and just hitting, use a sports analogy. Each thing, it just hits it out the park. Every little, why should somebody throwing a snowball in somebody else's face be that funny? But they make it work.
See?
Oh look, Frost.
It just is. Like all the gags hit in the first Dumb and Dumber. Like
we landed on the moon.
Like you quote it and you don't even know. It's like big gulps, huh? All right.
Yeah, why?
That's not even like that's nothing, but it's just.
It makes no sense, but it's one of the funniest. Like, well, see it.
It just hits because it's like effortless. Like, there's nothing about Dumb and Dumber like they're trying so hard to get this laugh.
Yeah.
It's like no, it's just
no, it's a cardigan. But thanks for asking.
Right.
Yeah. You put the characters in this situation, and that's how they're gonna act. Like, it's effortless. It's funny. And Dumb and Dumber 2 is a lot like. All right, he's been in a mental institution for like 20 years. Like, how can we milk this? And it's like, I don't know, have him change his diaper, like have him pull his catheter out. All this stuff. It's like, let's try really hard to make this funnier. And it's like,
dude, it's like
I think it's got some laughs. Like I don't hate Dumb and Dumber 2.
Oh, you're cut off.
It's not good. It is not. It's not good. To me, it's about as good as Dumb and Dumber.
I don't think I've seen that since 2003.
Again, people will act like that's the worst movie, and maybe it is, but like I don't hate it. I'm lying if I say I hate it. Like I don't. Bob Saget's scene is funny enough that like I don't hate it.
Oh man, yeah, that's not. I think that's a good one. That's a good pick. It's
that's a good
comparison. Is horrible. And on his own, yeah.
It's a finger painting compared to the Mona Lisa.
There you go.
A little bit, yeah.
But yeah, like if I have to like ramble off, like my least favorite belated comedy sequels, it's got to be Dumb and Dumber, Zoolander, and then I'm throwing Hot Tub Time Machine in there because I hate Hot Tub Time Machine too, even though it was only 5 years.
Oh, you
Zoolander to me,
I love Hot Tub Time Machine
too. Zoolander 2 to me was more disappointing than Dumb and Dumber
2. Yeah, I agree with that. It's just it was lazy.
Yeah, it was just like I don't even know lazy. Like I don't even. It seemed like Ben Stiller like wanted to make Zoolander 2.
Yeah, that's the disappointing thing. And
did all this stuff, and I was like, come on, it's not gonna be. To me, I think Zoolander 1 at this point is like underrated. Like I like.
Yeah.
Most people think it's like a good Ben Stiller movie. I think it's like top. It might be it's probably my top 10 comedies ever. Like I love Zoolander. Zoolander is so smart. Like it's so funny. And like 2, I haven't watched 2 since the theater. I need to go back and rewatch it.
And I guarantee you.
I remember like I needed y'all moral support when I watched Zoolander 2 last year.
Yeah. Like, and it came out the same weekend as Deadpool.
Yeah.
And I was like as excited for both of them. I was like,
wow, it did, didn't it?
They both hit 5 years the other day.
I was like, fucking finally, like this is the best weekend of my life. And then I was doing it too, and I was just like,
And what I mean, and about lazy, it's just, there's a thing like these movies do, like Zoolander 1, even comparing it to his predecessor, Zoolander 1 with the cameos. The cameos seem to have weight to them, like the Billy Zane cameo.
That's so funny.
It's like just, hey, here's Billy Zane's. Hey, Billy Zane's here. It's not like that. Part 2 had a lot of cringe like that. Like, just, hey, it's Michael Eric Dyson for the sake of just Michael Eric Dyson being here. Hey, I'm Michael Dyson.
Yeah.
And you were watching Zoolander 2.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Katy Perry.
Yeah.
It was like, oh.
It's like facepalm cringe.
Yeah. Again, I don't remember hating it. Like when I I was like, oh my God, get me out of here. But I was like let down. Like I was disappointed. Like my expectations, I think, were reasonable. It came a little bit after Anchorman 2. And Anchorman 2 is not as good as Anchorman 1, but it's good. Like I was like, they put
what hangs, even though they're just copying off the first movie, what makes you leave and not feeling mad in Anchorman 2 is the news fight with all of that's cameos used right.
Yeah.
Even though it's just exploitive.
No, fuck that shit. They got Will Smith, fucking Jim Carrey, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Kanye West. That fight was amazing.
Yeah, and you got the Canadian teams actually made up French Canadians, and come on, they put some thought into it.
John C. Reilly was like the Civil War ghost.
Yeah.
Yes.
There will be a mint julep waiting for you.
Yes, that's fucking funny.
I think Liam Neeson was in there.
Stupid. But it's funny, like we're laughing talking about it.
Right.
Like, because Anchorman is such an irreverent movie. Like, it's so non-stop silly.
That's the movie I have over Dumb and Dumber on my favorite comedies list.
And that's Dumb and Dumber is not that irreverent of a movie. Neither is Zoolander. Yeah. It is, but Zoolander has like a plot, like it has like this like plot and all this stuff. Dumb and Dumber has a plot with villains, it's like, meanwhile, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. So there has to be like a linear narrative in those movies. Yeah. Anchorman barely has a plot.
There's stuff happening.
Yeah, like Anchorman is just like, this is silly, and we're getting to the end. So they bumped that up to 11 for Anchorman 2. Some of it hits, some of it doesn't, but it works. It's like the shark and all that. Like it's still funny. Zoolander 2 and Dumb and Dumber 2 both made it more like goofy than their first ones, and it like doesn't work because there's supposed to be a plot. And it's like you can't just stop in the middle of the movie and do something ridiculous, like over the top ridiculous, when you're in the middle of doing this. It's like Zoolander 1 did it, but it worked, like the gas station fight and all that.
Being in pain from laughing.
Yes.
At the gas station fight.
Funniest shit in the world. But I'm like, you can't just keep doing that. Like, it's not going to work again. Like, you have to give a reason for these characters to come back. You can't stop in the middle and have the gas fight. Like, and like the commercials and all that stuff. And that was part of what made Zoolander, where it's like you said, the cameos, it was almost like silly. Like, he's at the MTV Awards and he's sitting beside it. It's like they got the most random celebrities. It was like Fred Durst and like dude,
Fred Durst, that's funny.
Carson Daly and like all these people. It was like, it's funny. Like, that's part of what made it funny. But then the Zoolander 2, it was just like, I don't know. I should watch Zoolander 2 recently. It should be fresher in my head. Yeah. I've watched Dumb and Dumber 2 a couple times since it's come out. I don't know why, but I have.
Self-hate.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are good ones. Another one that I had that I don't think is on the same level, because people don't really talk about it. But Little Fockers. Ben Stiller is a
tough day for Ben Stiller.
But to me, let me take the Ben Stiller, to me, is one of the funniest. Like, he's one of the best comedy actors to me. I don't know if anybody else is better, but like when he's put in like a perfect Ben Stiller role, like where he's like kind of awkward, like Meet the Parents is probably the chef's kiss. But like Flirting with Disaster, there's something about Mary, even like Reality Bites, like where he's kind of the awkward guy and like the things happening around him, he has to deal with all these things. Like, he's perfect at doing that. He's like better than Woody Allen, like doing that to me, like a Woody Allen character. Like, to me, it's like Ben Stiller is so good. And like Meet the Parents, like I just said, is like the chef's kiss. Like, that movie is so good to me because he is perfect in that movie. Like, Robert De Niro is perfect in that movie. But like Ben Stiller reacting to all that stuff is like without flaw, like without miss. Like, everything that's supposed to be funny in Meet the Parents is funny. And then it's like, of course they're gonna make a sequel. Like, Meet the Fockers was like kind of funny, not as good, but it was like, you can't really screw that up. Yeah. Like, let's get Dustin Hoffman, Barbra Streisand. Can't really screw that up too badly. Mm-hmm. Like, Little Fockers, I remember being disappointed. Like, I was like, come on, man.
I blame Little Fockers on Jay Roach.
Yeah. I don't know who I blame.
The writers.
Again, it's another one that's like, I don't even hate it. I don't hate it. But it's like, why? It's like, what was the point of this? And the movie's called Little Fockers. It's a great movie title. Whatever it's about, like, oh my God, you called it Little Fockers? I love this. Little Fuckers. And I just remember being just like nothing. Like, I was like, this is nothing. Like, the plot of this is like non-existent. Like, they're just here to make a third movie.
Yeah. Why does De Niro still not trust this guy?
Yeah, it's like, after all these years, come on. He's like the only, like, I think like the subplot of it was like, it was like the actress that played her sister in the first Meet the Parents died in real life. Yeah. She was really young. I forget how. It might have been a car accident or something like that. And they made her marriage a plot point of the third movie. It was like her husband left or something. And I was like, why would that factor in? That's weird. And also, why would that factor into you not trusting Ben Stiller? Like that. And then all like the other family members conveniently disappeared, like from the first movie. Like that's another part of the first movie that's like the best. Like all the other family members, her brother is like hilarious. So that one came to mind in terms of shitty sequels to movies that are like great. I think Meet the Parents is like a great movie. So there's a lot of great comedies that got like bad sequels. It's a shame. It's a real.
Yeah, damn.
Also, I put it down because when I was thinking of like what's the worst sequel of all time, I don't know if it's.
Where'd he go?
And I don't think it's a sequel to a great movie. I think Transformers 2 is dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot.
Yeah. Transformers. The Dark of the Moon.
Did you see that in theaters?
I did.
I came out that theater like visually angry.
Yeah, like it was you got assaulted.
Yeah, it's just I saw that movie.
Robot balls.
I think I've seen every Transformers.
Brother and sister, we came out. We didn't say anything to each other for like half an hour. The whole car ride.
It's like just don't.
Yeah.
Come on, we gotta talk about it. No.
Yeah.
I might have The Last Night lower than Dark of the Moon or Revenge of the Fallen, whatever it is. But that the Last Night's just boring.
I got Dark of the Moon last, followed kind of closely by the Mark Wahlberg one, or the Age of Extinction. And then I've got The Last Night above those. I don't remember hating The Last Night. I have not rewatched it since the theater.
Yeah, neither have I. I just remember the whole selling point was Optimus Prime is bad now, but he was bad for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
15 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, Bumblebee, you spoke? Even though you spoke before in the previous movies?
I don't remember, like, god awful hating that. I remember looking at the poster thinking it was like robots, Mark Wahlberg with a big ass sword. I was like, this should be the best movie of all time, and I know it's not going to. I remember thinking that, looking at it. Anthony Hopkins is in it for some reason. I was like, this should kick fucking ass. And I know it's not going to. I know it's going to be, like, fine at best.
Yeah, Michael Bay, I don't know what it is. When he makes movies based on true stories, he tends to care. Well, I guess because the characters are important. But, like the Benghazi movie, and even Pain and Gain, I think is one of his better movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I have Pain and Gain third. I think I have Pain and Gain third behind the first Bad Boys in the Rock.
Yeah. And Pearl Harbor, I think, was just an excuse for him to blow shit up. Because that was just terrible.
But
I think I got my answer when we come back to it. It's the worst movie of all time. I forgot about it because I blocked it out. It's not a lot of movies I hate. But anyway, we get back to it. Yeah.
I was saying, like, Transformers 1 is not
high order,
outstanding. I don't care what anyone says. Like, it's not a great movie.
No, it's not.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Entertaining.
Yeah.
It's probably one of Michael Bay's, like, better movies, I guess. Like, it's probably upper half.
And what's crazy about the second movie is the third movie is better.
Yeah.
It's like significantly better.
Yes, that's crazy how that works out.
It's not a great movie either.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. He
knows how to. I mean, basically when they go to the most awesome city in the world, it gets
Shut your ass up. I do have Dark of the Moon lower than The Last Night.
That's not. You probably rewatched that. I mean, it's Last Night is just. Yeah.
Dark of the Moon is too long. That's the thing. But I remember seeing that in the theater and thinking that was kind of good. Like I came out of the theater thinking, I was like, was that the best Transformers movie?
I think I saw that in the IMAX.
I was like, nah, that wasn't as good as the first one.
And speaking of which, I don't know if y'all remember this.
When they go to the greatest city in the world.
Really... What's that?
He said, when they go to the greatest city in the world.
Oh, yes. Oh, you know it did.
Transformers didn't take place in Indianapolis, buddy.
What the? But no, The Last Night, it's something that happens. It's very noticeable when you watch it at home. And like a lot of movies do this, but they don't do it as often as The Last Night did. You got any what's his name? Any Christopher Nolan movie usually does this, and not so much because he usually shoots all of his movies in IMAX.
Yeah.
And Tron Legacy, like during the action scene, you can tell that Michael Bay doesn't shoot anything he hates. With The Last Night, he shot some of them in IMAX, and then he shoots in the regular. The aspect ratio changing, like from shot to shot to shot to shot. I'm like, Jesus, I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
But no, that's just a little complaint. But yeah,
I remember thinking, again, it's coming on 4 years. Like since The Last Night came out, it was the last time I did so I don't know. But I remember I thought that The Last Night was better than Age of Extinction, at least out of the theater. I was like, it wasn't as long, and it wasn't as eye roll. Like I just remember Age of Extinction. Like I was, Jesus Christ, dude, this is like 3 hours, and it's all
yeah.
And I was with my nephew, who was like, he was probably like 12 or something at the time, and like, I was like, this is the audience for this movie, and he wasn't like losing his mind.
Yeah,
like he was just like,
and all of those movies after the first one, it's like these are an hour and a half movies blown up to almost 3 hour movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no reason for these.
Age of Extinction and Dark of the Moon was long too. It was like a solid 2.5 hours long.
It was.
Why in the fuck are these movies this long with all this nonsense?
Yeah.
Why did like nobody at Paramount like sit Michael Bay down? Like, hey, you got to cut this down, bro. Like, we need more. We need more showtimes in the theater.
What is Kim Jong's purpose of being in this movie?
No shit.
No, it makes sense. No, it doesn't. It does not.
Yeah.
It does not. Why are his parents? Why is his mom eating a pop brownie at his school?
There's just so much stuff you could have cut out entirely.
Entirely.
Even the little stuff. Shit. I mean, do we really need 3 separate shots within 2 minutes of the dogs humping?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He focuses on
that shit that Michael Bay thinks is funny.
Yes, his idea of humor is what kills him. And
it's bad. It's bad to think about when I think about the Dark of the Moon, or not the Dark of the Moon. Did Revenge of the Fallen?
There's so many of them, and even Michael Bay movies exist in the world that the kid from Last Action Hero was talking about.
Yeah.
Like, with no unattractive people.
Yep.
I mean, what's his name? In the first, 3 movies, Shia LaBeouf must have the super wang or something. These supermodel-esque women with Megan Fox and the chick.
He says super.
He walks right up to that girl. He's in the White House. He's like, oh, hey. And it's like, what girl would even look twice that looked like that? Like, no offense. But also,
we could be on those Transformer movies forever. That's an episode in itself.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Bumblebee is the best Transformers movie, though, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
We all agree?
Without question.
Yeah. And that's crazy. It had to be, what is that, the 6th movie?
Yeah. Yep.
You just had to get it away from Michael Bay.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I swear to God, that's all it took.
That's what I'm saying.
Like some, like, movie Marvel, like, there's nothing really all that original about Bumblebee, but it just works.
Yeah.
Did Bad Boys for Life benefit from no Michael Bay?
Yeah, directing.
It didn't not benefit. It's a Bad Boys 2. That's another example. Like, I love Bad Boys 2. Like, I have love for Bad Boys 2.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I used to love watching it when it came out. But it's too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way too long.
At least a half hour too long. And there's so much Michael Bay-ness that I think that is the most Michael Bay movie.
That's when he just went with the Bayham.
Like, he was given full reign to just do what.
Like, yeah, because
it almost works.
Pearl Harbor was long as hell. Holy shit. Pearl Harbor was long as hell, and I think made stupid box office. So Sony just was like, "Hey, Bad Boys 2, do what you want."
Yeah. But what's the consistent, I guess, common denominator for all of his movies? Michael Bay makes great action sequences. No matter how terrible, Michael Bay knows how to make stuff look good.
Yeah.
Yep. If only he would care about his characters.
Yeah.
And halfway about the story, or an incoherent story. Let me say that. Imagine the movies he could make.
I think it's like sometimes it's like he'll do the opposite too. Like, I think The Island is a good movie. I think it's like an underrated movie. I think the characters are kind of cool. The premise, the story kind of gets lost. Like, once you they escape or whatever. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Once they get out of there and like are doing the thing, it starts just adding up, and it's like, all right, now the next car chase.
Yeah.
Here we go. And then it's like, all right, and now car chase, building fall. And it's like, car chase, building fall. Yeah, car chase, but it's a helicopter. It's like awesome. There was the Imagination Land episodes of South Park where the it was like somebody they got to go into our imaginations and we're going to attack our imagination. So they were talking to Hollywood directors about how we could stop it. They were talking to M. Night Shyamalan, and he was like, "What if it's not our imaginations, but it's our?" And they were like, "That's not a." He's like, "That's not anything. That's just a twist." He's like, "Yeah, but what if?" And Michael Bay was like, "He's like, what if you go in there and it's like bosh, and it's like blah." They're like, "No, that's not a plot. That's special effects." And he's like, "I don't know the difference." He's like, "What if everybody's like bosh?"
Wow. Yeah, I remember that episode.
Like beating them together.
But yeah, that's funny.
That's how he had to have pitched those Transformers sequels.
Yeah.
If none of his other movies, like if you look at his other movies, like most of them are like watchable, like most of them are fine. But like the Transformers sequels, that had to have been. He's like, and they're gonna go to the college, and she's gonna get fucking high, and then they're gonna go bosh. And it's like, what?
Yeah, they just throw money at him. And another thing that's horrible. Those 5 movies, or those, how many Michael Bay is 5 Michael Bay movies, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But no, they contradict each other a lot. Like the previous, like continuity wise, and like, oh my goodness, how many damn MacGuffins in the world is there that follows around these robots?
That's what I think of when I think of MacGuffin. When someone says that, I'm like, oh, you mean the cube?
The cube, the how many ever? But anywho, yeah, what else? What other category we got?
Right.
All right. Best Transformers movie. All right.
Bumblebee.
Did we do overall? Or I think we do that last.
We can, if you guys think you have one. Overall.
No, I got one.
I was gonna say, like, we can just kind of touch on whatever. Let me do. What is in your head?
Uh-oh.
What's a shitty movie, like a bad movie that you love? Like a movie that, like, the consensus is that it's bad, but you love it. Like, you don't get, like, a guilty pleasure movie.
I go circling back, even as an adult. Such a soft spot in my heart for Howard the Duck.
Oh, fuck me, right?
So, it's I don't know. It's just such. I guess the nostalgia on that is just so strong, and that I can't hate it. As it's so, and it's some interesting stuff that happens in the movie. It's just all over the place.
Interesting.
What's that?
Is that the word we're going with? Interesting.
Yes. Okay, I ain't doing a quotation. Interesting.
It's some interesting stuff in Howard the Duck.
I don't know how well y'all remember the movie. I like the restaurant scene. When what's old boy name?
Tim Robbins.
No, that's Tim Robbins. He wasn't in that scene actually. From Beetlejuice.
Jeffrey
Jones.
Yeah.
When he turned into the monster thing and the whole scene in the restaurant, I think, is the best scene in the movie. And I don't know if, how well y'all remember that, but you have to go back and check it out. It's just special effects wise, and speaking of which, the movie's 86. Man, it'll be 35. It has some decent effects. Like, it's a lost art now, and it doesn't. I mean, for 35-year-old movie.
Yeah, like the stop motion.
I was just about to say, it's a lost. It doesn't happen. Nobody uses it, and it's pretty decent. You know, the Blu-ray exposes some of the effects flaws, but it's just a silly, dumb, funny, ridiculous movie, and I love it.
It's amazing to me that it got made.
Yes.
But it's amazing that when you look at like Marvel characters, comic book movie characters, everybody always talks about the X-Men or Blade. It's like those re-kicked it up. And it's like, yeah, but it's like before we got any of that, they made Howard the
Technically the first Marvel character.
Even got a movie. It's like who was doing that? Who was in charge?
Yeah, but I'm sure it's another movie. I might throw another one in there, but it's the Howard the Duck is one that pops.
Dude, Howard the Duck.
But what do y'all get for this one? Very interesting category or subcategory.
A movie you love that the consensus hates?
But it's just like, yeah.
I can't
Nick,
find
you said
one.
a movie earlier, and I can say it. I hope I'm not stepping on your toes if you were gonna say it. No. Is Daredevil with Affleck.
I love Daredevil. I think Daredevil is a great movie. I still like Daredevil. It's not like one of those movies where I'm like, I can see why people. I think Daredevil's awesome. I don't understand that.
I don't understand the hate for it.
Yeah, like I understand, like it's not the best, and maybe it wasn't as good as like Spider-Man, which had just come out. But like, I love Daredevil. There's parts of it that are stupid, but there's parts of most movies that are stupid.
Like, how about this? No, I'm sorry, Nick. The comparison wise, why does one work and one doesn't? And it's still silly, but I think the playground scene in Daredevil, the playground fight, why does that work better than the basketball scene in Catwoman?
It doesn't really.
But it's not. Why is it not as silly? Let me put it that way.
I don't know.
Because it's silly. It's obviously silly and goofy. Why the hell?
Yeah, the whole thing is kind of smirky.
Yeah.
Like, look at
us.
Like
they almost are tongue-in-cheek about it, but Catwoman was serious about this damn basketball scene with the 88 different cuts in 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was like the Nike commercial that they made fun of in Scary Movie 2.
Right.
That was the and like, Daredevil is kind of smirky. It was like, oh, I'm going to jump on the seesaw. And she's like, oh, not if I do it first. And it's like, the kids are like, what is happening?
But even with Daredevil, I'm sorry, Nick, I want to ask you, have you seen the R-rated version?
Yes. And it's even better.
Yes, I agree with that. That should be the definitive version of that movie.
Probably. I like the regular version. Yeah. I swear to God, when I saw the regular, I was like, that was great. It also, like, I love Daredevil. Like, Daredevil is probably like a top 5 Marvel superhero to me. Mm-hmm. And I loved Daredevil, like, when he was in the Spider-Man animated series.
Yeah.
Like, I was just so excited that the Daredevil movie was coming. I remember going to see Like Mike in the theater. The first time I saw the trailer for Daredevil.
Mike.
Guys, everyone showed up. Like, I was so excited.
That was an awesome teaser, though. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember the trailer. I remember, like, Coolio being in the trailer. That's one of the earliest memories I have. Coolio was in the trailer and was not in the movie. And I was really confused. I was like,
yeah, where's Coolio?
Where?
You get to see Like Mike starring Crispin Glover?
I did see Like Mike, Crispin Glover.
Yeah, right, Randy? You don't remember that, do you, Randy?
Crispin Glover was in Like Mike?
He was his guardian, right?
Yeah, he was like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Crispin Glover and Jesse Plemons was the bully. Yes. And I always think something weird that I always think of. That movie came out in 2002, just a son. That movie came out in 2002. It came out the same exact time as Spider-Man. And you think of Jesse Plemons and Little Bow Wow were in Like Mike, and they were children. Like, they were obviously children. Kirsten Dunst was in Spider-Man. And that's a grown-ass woman. Like, she was probably 18 or 19.
Wow. I see where you're going with that.
That's an adult female.
Fargo.
And now she and Jesse Plemons are like...
together.
Are really together.
Yeah. I think of that all the time.
My mind is blown.
I don't know why.
That's a hell of a thing. I didn't think of that yet.
But I think of that all the time. I'm like, ew.
Yeah, how far apart in age are they? Because he's gotta be in his 30s.
Like 5 years. Like, it's a big difference then. It's like, you ever watch Love Actually?
Oh, I know where you're going with that one too.
Keira Knightley is in it, and the little kid from The Maze Runner is the little kid, and he's a child. He's like a little bean. Like, he's a child, and she's like an adult who's married, and there's only a 5-minute or like a 5-year difference between those actors.
That's crazy.
And it's like, ew.
Hold on, Jesse Plemons from Breaking Bad, who just took over DiCaprio's role in the new Scorsese, who was just in Judas and the Black Messiah. Jesse Plemons, like, scrunchy-faced weirdo from Game Night.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think it's Jesse Plemons from Friday Night Lights. Nobody, I mean, if you've seen Friday Night Lights, that's what you think of Jesse Plemons from. But
no, yeah. I think of him as the reason the Nazis fucked up Walter White.
Yeah. A lot of people called him Meth Damon after that. I thought that was funny.
Meth Damon.
So in 2002, he was 14.
I know, yeah. And so he would have been maybe 13 filming that movie.
And Kirsten Dunst was 20.
I was about to say maybe 20, right?
Yeah, 6 years apart.
I gotta say, like, she probably wasn't old, but she was an adult. She was, had already done Bring It On and all that shit. Like, she had grown up.
And the suicide wasn't. Well, she was a kid in the movie, but
yeah, like, she was a kid in the early '90s when she was in stuff. Little Women and
Jumanji,
Interview with the Vampire.
Interview with the Vampire, yeah.
I think that's weird things I think about all the time. We've gotten off track.
Yeah, that's a hell of a fact.
That was a more interesting point than I think I was planning to make.
That was more entertaining than the Transformers.
The movies we're talking about.
Because it's like, ew.
Yeah, but now we were talking about Daredevil.
Daredevil. Love Daredevil. I love Michael Clark Duncan in Daredevil.
Oh, yeah.
Dude was a great choice to play the Kingpin. I don't care what you say.
He was.
I don't care what anyone says. Like, he was a ball. Like, he was supposed to be like this gangster, big dude.
Yeah.
It was great. I was like, dude, yes. Anyway, that wouldn't have been my answer though. But
yeah, no, that was
on my list for sure. That's probably better than anything I have. Most of what I have are just like comedies that I think people shit on that aren't.
No, let's hear one, the most.
Like, okay, to me, and like, it just had its anniversary maybe a week ago. Ooh. And it's a movie that I loved as a kid when it was out. Like, I thought it was the funniest shit. Was Saving Silverman. Like, not a great movie. And like, it's not even really like a cult movie. Like, people just like it. Like, when it came out, people are like, oh yeah, Saving Silverman. But like, to ask a critic about Saving Silverman, you would think it was like Cancer the movie. Like, they were just like, oh, so
Cancer the movie. I'm a little personally hurt by that.
Yeah. Like,
because it's 2021 and we can reach to be offended.
Dude, what? No, nobody's gonna be offended.
No, I said it's 2021 and we can reach to be offended.
We got more watchers now. We gotta spice it up.
Oh yeah.
We gotta be provocative. Gotta get the people going.
It gets the people going.
And that was during Jason Biggs' I guess successful run.
Yeah, they tried with Jason Biggs, and he's like 10 years younger than Jack Black and Steve Zahn, and they're supposed to all be like high school friends.
Wow.
Prior to that, not really seeing Jack Black in much. Like, he was in, I remembered him from
Cable Guy.
Yeah, like, I hadn't seen High Fidelity when that movie came out.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, I would have probably.
So you know him from I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I had forgotten that. And I remembered him. And he was also in The Jackal with Richard Gere and Bruce Willis.
Oh yeah, that's when he blew his ass up.
Demolition Man.
He got blown up. But I remembered him from like a movie that no one even talks about ever anymore. Was The Neverending Story 3?
He was the bully.
He was the bully at the school. That's what I knew him from. I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah, that movie's so like unnecessary.
People just forget about that. Like it was a 3.
It's not even a sequel. It's like a remake of the first one.
Kinda, and it had the Free Willy.
Okay, but he's the bad man who punted Baxter.
Yep.
But it's a scene in that movie that
later.
Yeah.
But like Saving Silverman, he's so funny in that movie. Like I just remember that dude's fucking killing me.
Who was it? It was him and like you said, Steve Zahn when they went to go see R. Lee Emery, the drill sergeant dude.
Yeah.
Coach.
Oh man, that was so funny. I'm like, yeah, we got a problem. There's this girl, kill her.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we snuffed that, bro. He's like, how'd you do it? We ate her.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's so stupid, but like, I think the jokes made to landing ratio is better in that movie than it's given credit for. Like, so much of it is stupid, but it's like all funny. Like, it's like Jack Black just makes it work. Yeah. Like, it's like, dude, this is so stupid. He's like, we ate her. He's just like, alive. Like, it's dumb. It's bad. It's not good filmmaking, but it's funny.
What's Amanda Peet? That's her name.
Amanda Peet. She had a good run too. Like she was in all shit after that.
I don't know if she's been in anything since Togetherness, that show that was on HBO for a couple seasons.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in anything recently. Right. Nothing against her. I'm sure she's doing something. I don't. She was in that movie The Way Back, maybe like 6-7 years ago.
Damn.
The sequel to the Ben Affleck basketball movie.
And Steve Carell. Like I remember she was in that. I don't know if I've seen her in anything since. I'm sure she's doing something. I feel like I saw her on like Celebrity Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or something like that. I'm gonna look this up.
So what do you?
But when I see her, I call her Judith. We're like Judith. Like I don't know. I watched that movie a lot when it came out. Like because I was starting to come of age of thinking things were funny that were more adult humor. It's like I loved American Pie and Not Another Teen Movie and all these movies that were coming out around that time. And so I like lumped that in with those. I just thought it was like that. Another one that I watched at the same time that is on this list. But again, it's like not a classic, but I feel like everyone that likes it, loves it, is Idle Hands.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love Idle Hands.
It's been forever since I've seen Idle Hands.
Just lambast Idle Hands. Like
it's just it's a certain type of humor. People just
it's so good. That's like
I think it's genuinely a good movie.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so goofy, but like it's so good. It came out it's the same kind of vibe as like Freaky.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, Happy Death Day, like these movies that come out that are like funny, but also like the horror in it is goofy and it's so over the top. Like it's the exact same type of movie. That I'm like, if it came out now, like people would probably jizz all over.
It'd be the thing with those type of movies and why critics and people is studios don't know how to market them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the trailers because I wanted to see that movie and in a good way for me when I actually saw it in theaters.
I remember the first time I saw Idle Hands. It was similar to the first time that I saw From Dusk Till Dawn. I didn't know what the movie was at all. I just turned it. It was on, and I kept it on HBO or something, and was like, "Well, this is the best shit I've ever seen. This is amazing." Tell me he's not going to cut off his hand, and like he did, and I loved it. I remember, but it's like. I feel like people like horror heads, like you are on Instagram, a lot of those horror head people, they love Idle Hands. Most of them, like, if you like Idle Hands, yes. Like the average Joe has like never seen Idle Hands, doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
A critic will be like, "Wow, how bad was that?" I'm like, dude, that's like one of the best stoner movies of all time.
Yeah, I recommend people. I think it's on YouTube. Look up the original ending to Idle Hands.
I feel like I know what that is, but I can't remember. I feel like I've seen it, but I like it. And like the Offspring is the band at like the dance, like everything about it is just great. Like this is the best movie.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's like I could go on and on with like, especially comedies that I don't even know if I would say they're underrated. But like, there's so many comedies that come out that people just shit. They're just like, oh, this is god awful, but like are still funny, like Norbit. Or not, or maybe not Norbit. Norbit came out and everyone was like, this is Eddie Murphy at his worst. And I was like, is it? My ass off. Like,
I don't know what it is about that movie I do not like.
You don't like Norbit?
No. It's not, don't get me wrong. There's Eddie Murphy movies like Meet Dave that are just atrocious. Right. But it's just something with Norbit that just ain't hitting the finish line for me. I'm
not saying it's good. It's not good. And it's probably still like ranked pretty low. But like, it's like Rotten Tomatoes score is probably like 1 digit. And it's like,
yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Like,
it's not.
I'm like, a movie that makes me laugh, like, if it's a comedy. Another example is The Watch with Ben Stiller and Jonah Hill. As a movie, like, to ask a critic, you would think that was like the worst.
Wasn't it a controversy with that movie or something?
Oh, there was a lot of controversy.
The trailers came out like when all the Trayvon Martin stuff went down.
Yeah,
they changed the title.
It was like 2 weeks or something after the Trayvon Martin thing.
Because Zimmerman was Neighborhood Watch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I don't know if it's 2 weeks. I don't know, but they had to shift all the marketing away from that to it being about the aliens, which they had only kind of hinted at.
Right. It was supposed to be, I guess, a surprise.
But it was on top of that, which was bad, and they probably should have just pulled it. Like, if that happened now, they would have pulled the movie.
The Hunt?
Yeah. Like, they probably should have just pulled it. But on top of that, I don't think it was weeks after the Trayvon Martin thing. I think it was like a little while after the Trayvon Martin thing, but it was still close enough.
Yeah.
But it was like a week after that guy shot up the movie theater that it came out. And so people talked about that when people were reluctant to go back to the theater or whatever. But I was like, even if you took that away, the movie that came out the week prior was The Dark Knight Rises.
No, so it happened during The Dark Knight Rises.
They're not going to go see The Watch. They're going to go see The Dark Knight Rises. But then critics, on top of all that, it was like that played into like how critics watched the movie, and they just chat all over it like it was the worst shit. That movie's funny. To me, like, it's not great, but like, it doesn't have to be, in my opinion. I'm like, just because these guys are in it doesn't mean it has to be as good as Dodgeball again.
Yeah.
Like, we're not promising that. It's still funny. Like, that dude, what's his name? The British guy.
Richard, I can't pronounce his last name. Ayoade?
Ayoade. I've never heard his name said. That dude's hilarious in that movie.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill is funny in that movie. Like, you know, it's not great. It's kind of a blip on the radar. But that's one of those things, like, they'll act like it's so bad. And I'm like, you know, I kind of like, I'd rather watch that than, I don't know, like, Only God Forgives.
Let's say, what's the other end of that quote?
Yeah, it's like one of those movies that guy directed.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if it's not Drive, I'm not really checking for Nicholas Winding Refn.
Yeah, I was just saying. That guy directed one good movie. Well, maybe two. I never saw... But didn't he direct Bronson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie. I'm lying if I said I've seen that movie. I don't know.
Supposedly his TV show on Prime is real good. I haven't got to it yet.
Bronson's on my shelf. I haven't watched it.
Yeah. But Drive is definitely his masterpiece, in my opinion.
Drive is like, wow. There's 2 movies. Only God Forgives was like not good. Like I remember thinking like that was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I was just like, man, this is weird.
The Neon Demon, I thought was worst shit.
I don't know.
Ever. Like I was like, that was one of the worst movies. That was on this list at some point. I was like, that was dog shit.
And you take that movie, the score and the cinematography for that movie belongs in a better movie.
Yeah, it's like just because it's artsy fartsy doesn't mean it's good. And like all these movie Instagram people that are like, oh my god, the aesthetic. Oh my god, my favorite.
Yeah, okay, that's good, but what about the rest of the fucking movie?
Something about the aesthetic of Neon Demon. I'm like, that movie was shit. That movie sucked. Yeah. A whole ass.
It sucks.
The plot sucked. The characters were weird and did weird shit. That movie was awful. And I was like, dude, this guy is a hack. Like, this guy fell off.
Not as bad as Josh Trank.
Yeah, that was one. I don't know. Because to me, that guy has 3 movies. I don't.
Yeah.
Did he do anything before Chronicle?
No.
Not that I know of.
Some shorts, maybe.
Very, very good movie. Fantastic Four is like blah. Like to me, like it's not good, but I don't hate it. Like it's fine. It's fine. Like I don't blah.
Yeah, but we know the story behind that movie, why it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Capone was bad. that was a bad film.
But
like, there's no way of getting around it.
Saying that Josh Trank literally shit the bed with Capone is like one of my favorite jokes from 2020.
No, it's metaphorical. It's like, no, dude. No, it's not.
It's metaphorical.
Yeah. Drive is outstanding.
Yeah.
To me.
No, and Drive is
to most.
I'm about to post some stuff about that movie later. Y'all see.
Maybe they're on equal footing. Given that Drive is better than all of the other movies.
Yeah.
But
so Randy, what's your worst?
I don't think I'm putting. Yeah, y'all about to hate me, but I don't think I'm putting Drive over Chronicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's my turn for the bad movies that I don't know if I can say love. I just. That I get enjoyment.
You think it's under, unfairly shit on.
The movies that are coming to mind are like horror remakes. Like I enjoy Rob Zombie's first Halloween. I enjoy the Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th remakes, and then like Batman vs Superman.
Batman vs Superman.
Those are the ones that are coming to mind.
I enjoy Rob Zombie's second Halloween.
I actually enjoy that one better than the first one because it's his.
Oh, so I'm hanging up on you both.
I did when it first came out. I rolled my eyes pretty hard at it. Like I was like, God, this is just not Halloween, and didn't watch it again for like years. Like it was a long time. Like it was probably like 6 years before I watched Halloween 2 again. And then when I rewatched it, I was like, is this great? Is this like a masterpiece? And I just forget about it. And then a couple of years later, like I watched it again and was like, nah, it was like a happy medium. Like I was like, this is trash, but it's like kind of like, it's like trash art. Like it was like he went to the dump and made art.
Yeah, like I just like everybody loves the mystery behind Michael Myers, and I do too. But I also liked like the little bastard kid from Hancock doing his thing.
Yeah, asshole.
Yeah. And
a Rob's.
Dude, we frozen a lot in this episode.
From what Michael Bay suffers from, he has an idea of what.
Yeah.
There you go.
he overindulges. Yeah. Like, it's like, say what you, it's like Rob Zombie made Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah. Halloween too. And like,
he didn't try here to.
I think. Like he remade Halloween, but it was like unsettling in his style.
Yeah. It was exactly his kind of vibe. Like it's the same tone as The Devil's Rejects. And I give him credit for it. I don't love it. Like I remember being kind of like, not let down isn't the word, but I was like, when I saw that one in the theater, I was like, oh. But it was kind of that same reason. Like I was so set in my ways. Like I was like, I love Michael for Michael. I wanted the darkest, the blackest eyes. I was like, bring that. And this wasn't that at all. Like he was, you know. It was like
I love that he was huge. I love that the mask looked so deteriorated.
Mm-hmm.
I think
the mask in the Rob Zombie ones is great.
Yeah.
Compared to the sequels to the original. Yeah.
How is it there's 1,000 Halloween movies, and aside from the original, we've got the best masks in the past 13 years, 14 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, say what you will about these. They give you the masks. I was a fan of the horror remake craze, like when it first, like I thought the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was like the best.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Texas Chainsaw was underrated. That's another one that's like graphically unsettling.
Yeah, because it was scary. Like I was like, this is actually, it's not scary in the same way as the first one, as the original, which I think is what people hated. It was more like in your face and like not subtle.
Yeah.
At all. That was the same thing with Rob Zombie. It's like nothing about it was subtle.
Yeah.
Nothing was implied. It was like, I'm going to tell you exactly what's wrong with Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Right now. I'm going to tell you exactly what's wrong with him. Here's dead cats. And it was just like, oh, he killed these cats?
Yeah, here's your white trash, toxic home environment that drives a kid crazy.
Here's the dad groping his stepdaughter. And here's dead birds. And like, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake was like completely different animal than the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And so a lot of people didn't like that. They were like, oh, it's so gory. And it's like, well, it kind of should be. I mean, it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, you know, the original one doesn't have a lot of gore. A lot of people think of that as like one of the most violent horror movies, and it's really not. It's just violent content.
Bro, it's like in the remake, like when she shoots herself in the van, and then just the pullback through her head.
Yeah. That was a cool shot.
Man, this is fucking gnarly.
Right. I love that. I was like, oh, I was like 13 or 14 or something. Like, thank you, God. Thank you, God.
Yeah, but where she pulled the gun from, I'm still curious about.
Oh yeah.
It was up there.
It was in an orifice.
Yeah, but I was all about Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. What are the other ones? I'm like blanking. Well, there's like
we were talking about Schneider, Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, I don't even lump that in.
I was honing in specifically on Michael, Freddy, and Jason.
Yeah, I don't even lump that into like the. I mean, they were remaking every horror.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Fog.
And you know what, man? Like if a horror movie makes me jump, like I'll show love. And the Nightmare remake might be dumb as fuck. It has all these flaws. It's not Robert Englund. But when he popped up on Katie Cassidy, I still jumped like it's the first time I seen it.
It's not horrible.
No.
It's not awful. One of the best things about the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street
Before Christmas,
Nightmare Before Christmas, but they abandon it before the end of the movie, is that it implies that he's innocent.
Yeah,
which I really
I wish they would have went somewhere with that.
When I first watched it, I was like, ooh, like what if he was just this weirdo and they burned him in a house?
We saw it. Me and my wife saw it. And she like got like real like just not disturbed, but she didn't like that it said that he was guilty. And I was like trying to convince her for weeks, like he's guilty in the original too.
The original one, he was a child murderer.
Yeah.
Right. And this one, he was a child molester, which is something that I think Wes Craven wanted to do in the original, and they were like,
yeah, they didn't want to do it.
Moonlight. Sorry, bro.
This one, it was like he was a child molester, and it's implied for a long time that he's like maybe he was innocent, and that's why he's killing. He came back to fuck y'all. But then it was like went back, and it shows that he's guilty. Spoiler alert! 11-year-old spoiler alert. And so then that makes the rest of the movie weird. It's like, dude, he's just chasing the kids he molested. Like, that's weird. Ew. But I don't think it's bad.
No, it has a lot of nice flashes of creativity. Like I like the micro nap thing.
Yeah.
Like she's in a grocery store. Has some good imagery and it's some
It was directed by Samuel Bayer, who was known for directing music videos by like bands that I liked. Like he directed Nirvana's "Smells Like Teen Spirit" music video, and
really?
He directed like all of Green Day's like American Idiot era music videos. So he was like kind of like a famous music video director, and I remember being kind of excited. I was like, dude, I don't think he's directed a movie before. This is gonna be nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just kind of like there, like it was like, oh well.
Yeah, and it's always a benefit when a movie is shot.
Let's get nuts.
And no, it's always a great benefit when a movie is shot in the greatest city in the world.
Hey, man.
Like a Nightmare on Elm Street remake was. But
this is not Chicago, the podcast.
But I thought the Nightmare on Elm Street remake was a little better than the Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, right?
No, like Jason was huge and he was fast and I liked it, except for your tits are stupendous.
I didn't like, and I rewatched it, and I've probably watched it like 4 or 5 times in my life. And every time I've watched it, I've like felt the exact same way. I've never been like, oh, that's a little better than I remember. Like it's always like I remember seeing it and thinking like, it's like they're stuck with, it's like paying homage to, you know, the 80s slashers while also trying to re-spin it for a new generation. And they were just stuck in that little gap. It's like, they were like, oh, there's got to be titties, and it's got to be stupid-ass characters that we don't care about doing stupid shit. All these actors were like 30. I was like, these are adults. Like, these are adults. Yeah. These aren't like children. These are adults out here just doing the dumbest shit.
They even recycled one of the actors from A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
No, Friday came out first.
Well, they did it the other way. One of the actors appeared in the show. And speaking of which, but go ahead.
No, I know because I immediately thought, I was like, yeah, how did he upload that video?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, wait, how did he even do that?
Who uploaded the video?
Never mind, I retracted A Nightmare on Elm Street. Kidding.
But, I don't, like, the Friday the 13th, I don't really hate Fast Jason. I don't hate it. I don't love it.
He was a savage.
It's not something I hate about the movie.
I'm still curious where they would have went with a sequel from then, because
really
obviously they weren't going the supernatural route. So what the hell was with the ending?
Yeah. And I remember, like, I kind of like the plot, like the dude looking for his sister.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, oh, so that's what this is about. Okay, that's something.
And that was a pretty cool twist. You thought one of the final girls was.
Yeah, that was one of the only times where I was like, whoa, like,
yeah,
oh,
that was.
Yes.
Oh man.
But like, I don't hate it. Again, like, it's not one that I love, but I don't hate it. It just seemed like another one. Like it was another one. We're just doing another remake.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hey, thanks. We talked a lot about Michael Bay. He's responsible for like
Platinum Dunes.
Platinum Dunes, yeah.
But he didn't do the Child's Play remake.
Michael Bay and Chicago have dominated this show.
So what's the worst movie? Did we get that one?
Well, I was gonna say, but you know,
Oh, they froze again.
I was gonna say it's also like if it's easier to come in. What's a good movie? A movie that everyone loves that you hate.
I don't think I have one.
Yeah, this was harder for me because like, I don't really hate them. Like if it's like a beloved movie, I typically am like, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I've got one that I feel like I talk about a lot and make fun of. I don't hate. I like the movie, but it's not.
Yeah. So what is it? You might as well start us off. You threw the curveball.
I've got two, but the one I talk about all the time is Bohemian Rhapsody. Fuck that movie.
But I think that's kind of
Fuck Bohemian Rhapsody. People love Bohemian Rhapsody.
Is that really praised, or is Rami Malek's performance is the thing that's praised?
Yeah.
When it came out, people acted like it was just the bee's knees. Like they were like, "That you've seen Rhapsody." And I'm like,
I agree with you. That it's not. It's a very mediocre movie.
It really like it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Queen's music is just phenomenal. Like but I think that's what people, and I know I've said this before. I feel like I've said this to everybody, but the end of that movie is the Live Aid performance, and it's like a spot on recreation of the Live Aid performance, which is considered by many to be like the best live performance by any musical act ever. Queen at Live Aid. And they just recreate it completely, and like the dancing is the same. The songs are it's almost the entire set. It's like 4 songs, and it's like glorious. And you have the crowd and all this stuff. The music is outstanding. The music is just the best. That's the end of the movie. So everybody coming out of the theater was like, "Wow,
yeah,
that was amazing."
Yeah,
left them on a high note.
Or was the end? It's like when you watch a comedy movie that's like fine. But then the gag reel is like the funniest shit in the entire funnier than anything in the movie. You're like, oh, that was hilarious. Central Intelligence is a prime example of that. Like, I like that movie. I think it's good. But the gag reel is funnier
than the movie,
So you made that
Bohemian Rhapsody. It's I really wish, I can't take credit. Somebody said this. It was a great video essay. That beat for beat music biopic formula was supposed to die with Walk Hard.
It should have,
but Walk Hard, unfortunately, nobody saw it in theaters.
It's not the classic that it should be.
Yes, and
I compared it to that when it came out. I was like, there's so much of Bohemian Rhapsody that is what they made fun of in Walk Hard.
Yes, and they just hit it, but and I really think I think somewhere down the line they should make another movie. They won't, because the thing that happened with that movie is ego. So the remaining members, Brian May, and I forget who's the other one, they originally wanted the movie to be about the aftermath of Freddie Mercury's death. That's why Sacha Baron Cohen left the project, and he also wanted it to be what it should have been. Just like the real Freddie Mercury said before he died, he said, "Just don't make me boring."
Yeah, like it should have been an R-rated.
Yeah, and I went into that. I didn't think to look at it or anything, and I didn't realize it was PG-13. Like in watching, I'm like, man, it's kind of tame.
Yep, it's like Rocket Man, rated R.
Yeah,
and there's nothing like over the top in Rocket Man, but it's like Elton John's life was not like a glitzy PG-13 movie.
No, and neither was
not a glitzy PG-13 movie.
Mm-hmm. But it's very. No.
I don't hate the movie, and like I said, a lot of it has to do with like that beat for beat formula. Like it works, like it's tried and true. Like it works, and the music is great, and the acting is all good.
Yeah.
But it's just like beat for beat. It's like paint by numbers. Like they're just sitting there, and they're like, "Oh well, we're waiting for Fred to come in. I don't know what to do." And the guy just starts stomping and clapping. He's like, "Whoa, guys!"
Yeah, it's just like Walk Hard.
Everybody clap.
Like, I gotta do it. I gotta walk hard.
I gotta walk.
Yeah, I gotta walk. And it's just as silly as that in a lot of
guilty as charged.
And
it's exactly like that. Like they're arguing, and the dude just starts. He's like, "Oh, I know, right?" And he just starts. bites the dust. That's like,
but wait. Yeah, it's there's a better movie to be made about either Freddie Mercury and or Queen. But
and another thing I hate about that movie is the title. How on the nose can you be? I hate, and there's a lot of biopics that do that. Yeah. What's Love have to do with it? It's another example of like a horrible title. Like just because it's like
just because of the song.
They're just like, the name of this movie is What's Love Got to Do with It? And it's like, no, it should have been called Tina or something. Right. Like it should have just been.
It's like Ray.
It should have been called Mercury or Freddie or.
But the Queen, they weren't gonna have that. It was definitely, the infamous scene in Bohemian Rhapsody with the horrible editing when they were sitting at the table with the meeting.
Yeah.
And that's that scene was edited like that for a reason, and a lot of the other it was part of the deal with Brian May and I think it was Fred Taylor to have equal amount of screen time.
Yeah. It's like I want it.
So like I said, a lot of ego went into this because they own the rights to this story, and I think they ultimately ruined what it could have been.
They wanted it to be like a Disney happily ever after version of Queen.
And then a lot of the freedoms, creative license taken in the movie. Like, hey, Freddie wants to go solo. No, actually, the drummer went solo first.
Yeah.
And released like 2 albums before Freddie went. Yeah. And they were like trying to kind of demonize Freddie, making him like, oh, he's late. Oh, he's a party animal. And you read any biography book or anything, you see when it came to the music, Freddie was
on it. You're not just remembered as a genius for not being a genius.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's very mediocre.
And like even Ray is PG-13.
Yeah.
But it touches on a lot of,
on his drug issues, of infidelity.
Ray Charles as like a saint. Like
You're right.
It's like, he cheated on his wife all the time. And drugs all the time. It's great. It was like, Bohemian Rhapsody is just like, this man was magic.
Mm-hmm.
Loved as hard as he sang. And it was like, come on, man. Like, he was probably weird. Weird shit.
Yeah. But another movie, I don't think it's going to be anything on our list that we hate, you said, but.
I don't hate it. But that's
I'm going to go as, well, here's one I'm going to go into the overrated category because I don't hate this movie.
Yeah.
But I don't like it as much as a lot of other people did. The Revenant.
I get it.
I ain't mad at it.
Beautiful movie. Fantastic. Beautiful looking movie. But it's just something about it that's just close to blah, but not quite.
Like
Leonardo DiCaprio should not have gotten an Oscar for this movie.
That's to me. That's his on Golden Pond. His Scent of a Woman.
Yeah.
Like, probably should have given it to him by now.
So years ago.
Yeah, and that's horrible, y'all. The movie a couple of years earlier. You should have gave it to him. But it's I think it's just a tad overrated. It's I don't rush to I'm gonna go watch The Revenant. I'll watch Birdman if I'm gonna watch a movie by.
Ritu.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's I like The Revenant, but I was like, it was like he got the Oscar for all the work he did as a
performance.
Not that it was a bad performance.
No, it wasn't.
But like it's like he should have when he dies, like when he goes out, it will be like he should have won this Oscar for The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
like that will be.
He won't be celebrated for the one he won. That's what kind of.
Yeah, like, and at the time, Matthew McConaughey just got all the press because he did all that work and lost all that weight and like put his all into that role. And
it was just like.
But that movie has not aged well. Dallas Buyers not aged very well. Whereas The Wall Street is still like the best movie of all time.
Yeah.
Now when people talk about it, it's like, God, he absolutely should have won.
Right.
It's not like, The Aviator was up against Ray Charles. Ray Charles was probably going to win every time.
Yeah. You didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
he didn't have everything that was happening with the True Detective was either came out or was coming out.
Yeah, it was around that time as like, Oscar.
Yeah, he was just this resurgence from the rom-com hell.
People were like, "Is this guy the best actor?" I was like, "No, he's pretty good."
Yeah, but now with The Revenant, I think they should have kept that Oscar. If they were going to give an Oscar to anybody, they should have gave it to Tom Hardy.
For sure.
And that's my opinion. I forget who won in the supporting actor.
Supporting actor, 2015.
Yeah.
Rylance.
Yeah, Mark Rylance.
Yeah, for
What?
Took a shot in the dark.
Man, imagine being Mark Ruffalo, because he was nominated in the same category when they said Mark.
Oh no!
Imagine that.
Rylance.
But yeah, that's The Revenant for me as far as that.
I feel the same way about Interstellar.
Ooh.
I feel like it's gonna lose people, but like
you're getting offensive.
Interstellar, and it's like it's Christopher Nolan, but there are people that just jizz all over Interstellar. Like, it's like the best movie of all time, and I'm like,
nah, it's a wonderful movie, fantastic movie.
I love Interstellar.
It's so long, which isn't always a bad thing, but like the 2 or 3 times I've watched it, I've been like, wow, this is long. And it's like, I don't know. I just don't know if it ever sticks the landing with all its big ideas. Like, to me, it's like the action, like the exciting sequences are better than the like, what if we sit and talk about like philosophy? Because it's like Matthew. To me, that's just him being McConaughey. Like, it's like half of it's this great performance, and the other half is just like, what if we're just like birds, just flying? What if we're just up here and we're just 2 little stars, like up in this fucking in the galaxy?
That's a pretty good,
right?
Anne Hathaway, it just looks like she wants to leave the whole time. Like she's like, yeah, well,
that's funny. And Casey wasn't even acting for the most part.
No, like,
big Casey Affleck.
Yeah, like there's so many people in that movie, and they're all just like, I don't know. I don't dislike. I think it's like it's a work of art, and it's like, wow, man, props to Nolan for taking his big budget and like making that like a thinking man sci-fi movie. But I kind of feel that way with other movies. Like I thought Arrival was a little overrated. I liked it, but I didn't love it.
I mean, you get these movies and people don't expect for them to challenge you, and then it becomes the greatest thing. Like, people still like to make thinking movies.
Yeah, I like. And I'm a smart guy. I like to think. That's not even my thing with Interstellar. It's like a lot of Interstellar. It's like I know if I picked this apart, it wouldn't make sense. But it's like I only understand just enough. It's like Inception. It's like I understand just enough to keep me. I'm like, if I understood more of this, it would be bullshit. Like I just like,
what happens with any movie really? If you break it down.
We're lucky But
so what do you got, Randy?
Yeah, I think I have mine. This is the toughest one. A movie that you don't like or think is overrated that people.
I know one for you. If you don't have it.
Okay, what is it? Because it's probably not what I'm going to say.
You didn't like A Christmas Story.
Oh, no, I did not.
Fuck you. Like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
I'm going to say Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland.
But do people really love that?
When it came out, it was all the fucking rage.
Yeah, I don't like that movie.
I've never loved it.
I remember people just going bananas over Alice in Wonderland in 2010.
Yeah, I don't think it was the fact that they thought it was good. It was just the fact that Tim Burton did it.
Yeah, that's why I was like day one. I was like, dude, Tim Burton, Alice in Wonderland, sign me up.
Okay, well, fuck me
it's
then.
Not that it's not that good. It's not.
I agree with you. Yeah, it's still.
I don't know. Like, me and my wife saw A Christmas Story for the first time in December.
I don't think anybody expected that.
Real.
And
that, I think, yeah.
Okay.
I think A Christmas Story.
If I'm gonna roll with A Christmas Story, it's I never saw it as a kid.
Yeah, I think that plays a lot.
Seeing it for the first time.
See it as a kid.
Yeah. And like the love as a child for this movie is just not embedded, and all the classic moments were cool, but overall, it's dumb.
It's dumb.
Fuck you. Yeah. But like, that was my thing with The Christmas Story. I didn't watch it ever as a child. I think the first time I saw it, I'd have been like high school. Like, I was still like young, but like not young. Like, I wasn't the age of the kids. Yeah. So like, it doesn't have a ton of nostalgic value for me, but I watch it every year. And at this point, it's like, I've got to watch A Christmas Story. Like, I've got to watch it. I don't watch it like 24 hours a day, like some people do on Christmas.
Weirdos.
I can't do that. Like, yeah, no, if I'm going to do that, I could do that with like 8 other movies. But I do love it. I feel like that's a beloved movie that Randy, and I was like, what? Can't we give it a 3?
So I love sharing my Letterboxd reviews on my stories. It freaks you guys out sometimes.
I'll see, like, I'll follow people that share their Letterboxd reviews. So it was like those girls that hated Die Hard. That was the only time I was ever. I was like, what?
Nick reacted to my review for A Christmas Story, and Eric reacts to my 5s.
Yeah. Christmas Story. Fuck you. I love it. What were you gonna? Oh yeah, you were gonna say Alice in Wonderland.
11 years ago, people fucking fanned out over that shit.
Yo, it
was a Hot Topic movie. Like, it was before it even came out. Like, Hot Topic was putting the Cheshire Cat on shit.
There you go.
They were curating a soundtrack with like Avril Lavigne and all that. Like, they were ready to go for Alice in Wonderland. So it was almost like it didn't matter if it was good. They were like, nah, we're ready to put this out.
What are we at? Like, least favorite ever?
To me, Alice in Wonderland was like a 3 out of 5. Like, it's not, I don't dislike it, but it's not great.
Yeah, I think I was at a 2.5. We're always within like 1 star of each other. I think I gave it a 2.5.
The second Alice in Wonderland was worse.
Yeah, way worse.
It was like an easy 2.5 for me. It was like, why did they even do that? But another belated sequel that they probably should have just done away with. Yeah. But I think that's it, unless you all can think of the worst of all time.
Oh, yeah, that's easy for me now.
With this.
Well, it wasn't easy. I blocked it out.
All right. When you brought this up, the first movie that popped in my head was Scary Movie 5. I was pissed leaving the theater. If I can go back deep into the archives, I think I have like a rage out, just pissed off review of it on YouTube.
Ooh, yeah, look for that.
It's horrible.
I did a Scary Movie rewatch last year just in my free time. Like, I just went and I was like, I haven't watched the sequels in a while, and it wasn't as bad as I remembered it being.
It's the laziest. It's the laziest fucking comedy.
It's pretty like it's bad.
It's offensively bad.
Like, there was that era where it was like after Scary Movie 3 hit, and it just felt like those dudes were just making spoof movie after spoof movie after spoof.
Yeah, the Friedberg and Fights, whatever the hell their names are. But yeah, killing them.
Yeah.
And they got worse. Like, they literally got progressive. It was like Date Movie was like, haha. And they did like Epic Movie, and then like Disaster Movie. And it was like
Meet the Spartans.
Yeah, Meet the Spartans. Vampires suck. Yeah.
And you could tell that they were masquerading as parody movies, but they really weren't parody movies. They were reference movies.
Yeah.
Referencing something is not parody.
Bro.
Yeah, it was just like reference.
Scary Movie 5 makes fun of the Evil Dead remake that come out like a week earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember it being like Mama was like a big plot point for Scary Movie 5. Yeah. And I was like, even at the time, I was like, are people even gonna remember this movie?
Yeah,
Mama? People are gonna love Mama.
But
tomorrow. Do they love it enough to reference Scary Movie 5? But I think Scary Movie 5 is better than those, like the epic movies and the Spark. I'll give it that. It's not good.
No.
It's probably still like a 2 out of 5.
No, it's a half.
But
yeah.
Or you gave it.
And that's funny because mine is a supposedly comedy too.
I couldn't even give it a 1.
Damn.
Mine is a 0, ain't even a half.
The last time I tried to watch Scary Movie 5, I didn't even finish it.
What's the yeah, but my pick is I genuinely, and I can't say this about a lot of movies. I can't even say this about The Room because The Room
is great,
entertaining.
That's what I said about I was thinking like the worst movies ever, and I thought of Serenity with Matthew McConaughey. And I said that's not ever. Yeah. Because
I mean, you can't say if there's entertainment value in it.
Yeah,
can you really
horrible as that was, I love talking about it.
Isn't looking at Anne Hathaway in that movie enough?
Yeah, and I was like, Anne Hathaway was like in it. Like, come on, like that's not the worst. But yeah,
man,
booty sweat.
But no, there's movies that
drink booty sweat, baby.
What's that?
Good thing I had this booty sweat.
He said booty sweat, and I just snowballed it.
But yeah, it's just movies that aren't just redeemable in any way, shape, form whatsoever. And my movie is dark. You gotta imagine, like I don't know if you looked them up, those Friedberg and Seitzer guys, whatever they are. They started out by working under the Wayans. And you can see who really contributed to those movies now that when they went by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so when a filmmaker gets an opportunity to make a movie, that's a hell of a thing. You know what I'm saying? And you take that opportunity and squander it. And they gave this the movie, the star of the movie I'm about to name, the star directed the movie. And he's actually a funny guy. He had a TV show on MTV. And his comedy was okay. I could see where his humor was going. But he had the opportunity of a lifetime. They gave him his own movie. And this is Freddy Got Fingered.
Yeah.
With Tom Green.
Oh, yeah.
This is...
I think that's a bad movie.
It is a horrible movie. It's a bad movie. There is no... It pokes fun at a very sensitive topic, which you can guess what it is in the title. And it's just nothing rip torn. I don't know what they held over his head.
It's like, we got something on you, man.
Yeah, you better do this. It is just bad, man. I remember hating it.
I think that's a bad movie. And there are people that will go to bat for Freddy Got Fingered. Like, there are people that they love Tom Green.
And I'll kick each one of their asses.
But it's cool for Tom Green to hump a dead moose.
Like, when he had his show on MTV, like, my mom hated that shit. And that made me kind of like it. Like, I was, that and, like, Jackass, like, Viva La Bam, like, all shows like that. I was kind of like,
there was a little bit of comedic value within the show or what he was doing or trying to do. And with this movie, I'm like, come on, man.
It's irreverence with no direction. It's like I was talking about. It's just nonsense with no purpose.
But as we know, irreverence can be funny.
Can be very funny. It's like, I don't know. It has to work though. Like Superman works because all those guys work well together.
Yes. A movie studio, a major movie studio, saw this in the script. They saw in the script, this man takes a newborn baby by the umbilical cord and swings him around. And they gave him money to make this happen.
What if you got out and, like, found the dead deer in the road and just, like, started fucking around with it, like, wearing it?
Yes. Like, no. Just to do it. It's like, Like, come on, man. It's struggling. What's trying to get their short film off the. I don't know why I go to that, but I just do. And they give this fool a major push in the budget to do what he did and what he. Like, oh my god.
It's like, I don't know. It's like, I think Road Trip is a funny movie.
Yeah.
Like, Tom Green is like pretty funny in it.
In small doses. He's great.
Yeah. And I think Stealing Harvard is a movie that nobody talks about. It's like basically, that movie's funny to me. Like, it's fine. It works, it's fine. But he's not, he wasn't given a lot of like creative control in those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad movie. Freddy Got Fingered is a bad movie. I haven't seen it. Like, it's probably been 20 years. Like, since it came out, I probably watched it maybe once or twice, like on Cinemax.
Right. It's been on, and I've tried to tried to look at it. I'm like, man, I remember.
Yeah. I remember. Why not get this? Am I not like highbrow enough? Like, is this art?
No, it's not art. It's art. The art of a kindergartner with crayons.
It's like Andy Kaufman-esque art, and I just don't. It's like
Andy Kaufman was an artiste.
Art with an S in front of it.
That's bad. I agree. Probably not on my like worst of all time list, just because I've only seen it like maybe once or twice.
Put it on there; it belongs there. Trust me.
I agree that that's a bad movie. The only ones that I ever think about, and again, these are like movies I haven't really watched because I remember how bad I thought they were the first time, was House of the Dead, the Uwe Boll movie.
Oh my goodness.
Because at the time I was young enough that I didn't know who he was. Like, I was like, I don't know this director's name. I don't know if he has a reputation. I don't know that. I just remember House of the Dead being the game that I would play in the lobby.
That's what everybody.
Yeah, like with the gun. And I was like, all right, I'll rent this. Fuck yeah. And I'm like probably like 12, 13, old enough that I'm like, I should enjoy this. And I remember what I was doing. I was eating these. They were called like Pop'ems. They were like Quaker Oats Pop'ems.
I remember that.
I think so. Yeah.
Eating those and thinking these don't taste that good. And watching this movie, thinking this is the worst day of my life. Like, I was like, I'm eating this snack that's not good. I'm watching this movie that is like fucking terrible. Not just like, oh, this is bad. Like, fucking horrible. Like it was like they were zombies, but like they weren't really, like they talked.
Yeah.
It was like, she was like, why are you doing this? It's like, to be immortal. She's like, why? He's like, to live forever. And it was like, oh no. Like, even being a child at the time, I was like, this ain't it.
This ain't it.
This ain't it.
That was one of the.
I only ever watched it the one time. I would be willing to rewatch it if it's like we talk about like video game movies. Like, one day I would love to just watch every video. And most of the video game movies were directed by that guy.
Yeah. That knucklehead is gotta give him his credit. He exploited the system that had holes in it so he could make his movies. But I remember my cousin and I. No, go ahead.
He made a mainstream. Like, it's not like they were all that. Like, he did In the Name of a King with Jason Statham, and like Blood Rain, like went to theaters and had Ben Kingsley in it.
Yeah.
Like, he made honest to God movies. They were just awful.
Mm-hmm. But I remember watching this House of the Dead with my cousin.
Have I seen that?
Oh, how terrible! There's a section of the movie. It seems like it lasts 2 hours, and when they have to make it from like the shed or a boat and go to the house, but it's like a bunch of zombies, and it's like only like 30 feet. The scene lasts for like 22 minutes. From them going from this spot to this spot.
I want to rewatch it. I feel like, isn't there like a director's cut or something of it?
I don't know. That's probably terrible too.
And I've never seen Alone in the Dark.
Oh, that's with Christian Slater.
That I've always heard is so.
I saw that.
And Christian Slater, and I'm like, there's no way it's worse than House of the Dead.
It's not, but it's still terrible.
In my head, I'm like, dude, House of the Dead was like the worst shit.
House of the Dead is on Peacock.
It's on Peacock?
It's on Peacock.
Ooh.
Wow. How? That's random.
Yeah, it's Peacock gets the most random movies. Download Peacock, everybody. This has been a Peacock ad. Like, the only other movie that I could think of, and it's another movie where I was the age range of who they were going for. It was rated PG, and I was like 12. And I was, to boot, like, I was like a huge Dana Carvey fan. Still am. The Master of Disguise, to me, is one of the worst movies ever. And they marketed the shit out of that movie. Like, you would go to the theater, and I remember they had this big cardboard standee thing of him, and it was like you like spun this wheel, and it was like his different disguises. It was all over Nickelodeon, like it was everywhere, and I was like, that's Garth, like this is gonna be the best movie of all time. And seeing it and being like, I wish this would end. Like actively being like, I wish I was here. I wish I was like getting a root canal or something less painful. Like, again though, like I don't think I've rewatched that movie since. So we're talking like almost 20 years.
Damn.
I could dust it off, like go find a copy of it or something, like rewatch it. And maybe that would change.
That's sad too, because I don't know if any of you have ever seen a Dana Carvey stand-up. I recommend any of them.
That dude, he's comedic genius.
Yes, and only on I guess like sketch stuff like SNL, obviously, and his stand-ups. Some comedians, their style is hard to translate to film. And he did a movie in the early 90s called Clean Slate. It was just a movie, him just doing impressions. It wasn't a good movie.
Yeah.
It's like nobody knows how to translate his act to, as far as leading man. Obviously, as Garth, he's great in the Wayne's World movies.
You know, playing the role. But, you know, him as just an every guy being like the lead of a movie, it's like it never works.
Yeah. And another movie, Nick, I don't know if I bet you Nick will remember this. I hope you do. A movie with Richard Pryor called Moving. Oh man,
I can picture it. I'm lying if I feel like I've seen it.
So it's probably hard as hell to find. So anyway, Dana Carvey plays a guy who has multiple personality disorder, and Richard Pryor hires him to drive his car to the next state where he's moving, and it's like a really awesome, expensive car, and he doesn't know he has multiple personality, and that's awesome too.
Like you have Dana Carvey do like an impression, or he's just one of those actors who could just break into an impression. Like it's just like, dude, it's like, hey, say something, like one of those guys, like, hey, say something funny, and he'll just do it. Like he'll just right. Hilarious. And yeah, a lot of that comes from like the stand-up. Like instead of like when he sits at the piano and just like starts singing shit.
Yeah,
that's so funny. Like that's like beyond funny. And it's like it's crazy that he's never had like it just didn't work in movies.
Yeah, they just can't translate it to Masters of the Sky is horrible.
Some movies.
Moving is on DirecTV and Vudu.
A couple movies. But Dana Carvey, the Master of Disguise, had like literally everything going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like a Madison production, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's the only reason I was slightly interested, and I never saw it.
Yeah, what's that?
Exactly the age. Like it came out around the same time as like Scooby Doo and Kangaroo Jack and all these other shits. I was like there. So I was like, fine. It's PG. I'm PG.
I'm PG.
I'm in that movie and thinking, good God, get me out of here. Like, please.
Kangaroo Jack was actually a financial hit, which is terrible. Kangaroo Jack.
Not the movie that was advertised, like, at all. Like, even the poster is like the kangaroo, like, it's like, that's not what the movie is about whatsoever. Like, I always have a hard time, like, talking about Kangaroo Jack. I'm like, as like a 12-year-old, I kind of enjoyed it. Like, I was like, this is like not really that dumb. Like, it's dumb, but like it's not like nonstop slapstick, like talking kangaroos and shit. It was more of like it was like Jerry Bruckheimer or something like produced it, and I was like, oh, this is kind of like a Jerry Bruckheimer production. It's better than Master Disguise by a significant margin.
Yeah,
like way better.
But man, get in the comments.
With my episode.
Get in the voice messages. Let us know some of your favorite worst movies ever. That makes sense. I'll come back and I'll wrap this up, and I will in the future reconsider letting Nick run the show because we're pushing 3 hours, fellas. But it's Rec League. Yo, when we first started off, it wasn't about the draws, but trying to learn your values. Me showing you and you teaching me the how to. I get to know her and recognize that she compliment me perfectly. Now I'm out here struggling with my insecurity, trying to grow mentally to a better level of maturity. But the day she wake up and realize she too good for me is the primary thing that worries me. But it's always fun. I hope it never ends. Through the good and bad times, I swear we best friends. Even when we old, our bond stays official. It never maybe depends. We got the window curtains open, dancing and romancing. Neighbors big mad, hoping we go from consummating to masturbating. They praying and they waiting, hoping our relationship eliminated. 9 years was dating, and not cause of me being a dog. If you know me, you know my get down all along. Unaware of how she felt, I was naive to making a grand ass statement. And we wasn't married sooner because I just be on procrastination. And chill until the next episode.